him on low goes over a tenth of a second fast.
Give me a second, sorry. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Formula Trout stream. We're going to be racing at the Monza circuit tonight and the Le Mans series. We'll be doing 400 kilometers of Monza, and yeah, the guys are just warming up. I might have prematurely started the stream a bit early, but it's better to be early than late, right? So once again, you're joined by myself, Kilgore Trout, aka Kilgy T, aka Kilgy Fee. If you know, you know. And yeah, you know, it should be an exciting race tonight. For those in the know, we're racing a multi-class series here tonight. We have, how many people are racing tonight? Let's have a look. I think about 12 people, maybe 10. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a bit underprepared, but you know, I'm a fill-in. Yeah, so this is gonna be fun. I'm sure you guys are gonna love this stream. Bear with me a second whilst I get everything set up.
Okay, so we'll do another start test with the app working this time, and then we'll do qualifying.
So a few teething issues. Qualifying hasn't just started yet, but I'll run through the schedule. So we'll be doing a 400 kilometer race. I'm not going to even try and pretend I know how to work the maths out for that. Somewhere between a 2 hour to 2.5 hour race. And start off with
okay, so this time formation lap and a regular start.
We're going through the practice procedure, starting procedure, and we'll ride on board with the safety car. I'll try and figure out where my apps have gone. Don't panic, don't panic, don't panic, don't panic. Just wheel spin from the safety car there. So the schedule for tonight, so as you're witnessing right now, is the startup procedure led by Alex Cochran, the safety car. And after that we'll be going through a 15-minute qualifying session for the GT3 class, and then a 15-minute session for the LMH class. I'm exposing myself now because I'm like, what's an LMH? It's this kind of car. This what you're looking at right now. These guys, the fast boys, and if this is the first time you're watching the endurance races at Formula Trout, you might hear the race director intervene every now and then, just to explain what's going on regarding the procedure. So yeah, after the qualifying session there'll be a formation lap and then race start. This is the practice formation lap, just to get everyone in the spirit, prepared for lights out in about half an hour's time.
Going into double grid, 1, 3, 5 on the inside, on the right side, 2, 4, 6 on the left side.
And this is why we have a practice procedure, you know, so we avoid things like this. You know, this doesn't this doesn't reflect on the league, honestly. Just you know, like I said, teething issues. Hey, this might happen in the race, who knows? And that's all part of the experience.
Hold 80-ish until your app goes green.
Please let me know if there's any sound issues if you are watching. Obviously we want the sound as beautiful as possible. Yeah. Everything from my grating voice to the engines of the cars roaring down the start finish. Great.
Focus yellow soon.
Is that the correct line? Why is that not working now? That's slightly annoying. Oh, there we go. That's what we're looking for. Why does it all look like that? Good old Assetto Corsa letting me down. Why is it doing that now? So with the Le Mans series, or Lemon series, sorry, there'll be
Okay,
what?
thank you everyone for the successful test. We are going into qualifying now.
Yeah. There'll be one mandatory driver swap. Oh. I don't think that was supposed to happen. Second, whilst I just prep
You
the
need to
stuff.
reconnect.
This is what I mean by me accidentally starting the stream a bit early. But you know, you get to see the behind the scenes. You know, this is almost
Love is life again.
an insight to how the everything works. As quickly jump on the server. Whilst this is loading, I might as well go through the cars. We got the a selection of different cars racing here tonight. From the VRC mod pack to RSS to Kunos's own cars as well. So we've got the Forenzo P49, which I believe is the hyperclass, the Ferrari hyperclass. We've got the RSS ProTech, which I believe is Porsche equivalent. Then we've got an Audi R8, BMW, Ferrari, Lamborghini, McLaren, Nissan and Porsche, which are all part of the GT3 cars. Patiently for the session to begin. You can now see
Skipping into qualifying.
there we go.
GT3 green light. Go, go, go.
And there we go, guys. Qualifying has begun. It will be with the GT3s. As I scramble to try and find where the GT3s are. Braking there. It's the outlap though, so it's fine. It's fine. And now I need to find out who is who. So who is KS? I'm gonna no, that's Alice Kamanis. Who's JS? Okie dokie. Oh, massive oversteer there. And we embark on the first time lap of the night. You're wondering why it sounds like someone's trying to tame a cat in the background by going psst, psst, psst. It's TeamSpeak. It is the race director just testing his button configuration by the sounds of things, but kind of gives us an insight into that's not, but it's basically TeamSpeak's way of letting us know that the priority speaker talking. I only think there's 2 GT3 cars racing tonight. these two are going to duke it out. Okay, so on board with Jacob. Oh no, how do you pronounce your last name? It looks Polish. Simborowski? You're really testing my dyslexia right now. Unlike our sister series, which is the Premier series, these guys are likely to just kind of put enough fuel in for the whole session and just keep pumping out lap after lap, unless they, you know, go into the barrier or whatnot. But yeah, these two are going to be pretty much out on track for the next 15 minutes. It looks like Jacob is pulling away from the car ahead, behind. Sorry, so he must be on a good one. I can only guess. Let's have a look at the live timing screen, shall we? Oh well, I will. You won't. Currently up on his delta from his last lap, which is a 1:49.6. Carlos Skamanis in the other GT3 car in the background. His last lap was a 1:50.1. In Carlos's defence, he's had a beer. I don't think that's enough to justify being 1/10 off, but for 1 second off either. I quickly reach over to turn the heating off because it is boiling in here. Unless we're missing a car. Are we missing a car? Oh no, there's a couple of there's more than a couple of GT3 cars. Ryan Wilson's in the other GT3 car, I believe. So there's 4 GT3 cars. How about that? Ignore the timing screen for now because due to the nature of Assetto Corsa and the ACTV timing screen, which you see on the left here, never really updates properly in the qualifying session. Mainly just there for show, and I'll try and kind of fill in the gaps. As it currently stands, the GT car number 424, which is currently being raced by Brian Wilson, has the best time of a 1:48.1. Then on board with the current car, which is being raced by Jacob S. I won't butcher your last name anymore. Second best time of 1:48.8. And should we give some of the other guys some screen time? Such as Carlos Skamanis. White car. Apologies if there's supposed to be a livery on that. Don't know why there isn't. I did install the mod pack, I promise. Oh, Jacob's got off. Hopefully won't hold up Scavanis in the background. Manus is catching up to him. He might be able to get a bit of a draft off him. Not too sure how powerful the slipstream is with these GT3 cars, or if there's any wake coming off power ahead. I don't think they're that aero sensitive that they will be affected by that too much. Current session leader here, Ryan Wilson, known for his ability to adapt to many different car types. Watched any of the previous races, great wheel-to-wheel battles with the likes of Maximilian Younger. Unfortunately, not competing tonight. Ryan Wilson is in the GT3 BMW Z4, along with well, Luca Mangini is also supposed to be racing in the GT3, but not on there. I think Carlos was a last-minute stand-in. Also, my knowledge on road cars is not the greatest, along with my knowledge on a lot of things. Unless, like, I don't know, live music, you know, if you want to know anything about that, then come to me, I guess. But yeah, Ryan Wilson just eating away at his lap times, if that's the right term, but he is getting faster and faster with each lap. Using as much of the track as possible, riding that curve on the exit. Flat out now, up to Parabolica. In fact, why don't we get the corner names? I mean, for those who know Monza, should be aware of the layout by now, but back the screen smaller. Parabolic is the last corner. Sorry. See, this is what I mean. I need this more than you guys. Not able to improve on his last lap, but we've got another just over 3 minutes before the next session begins for the Hypercars.
Hello?
Hi there, who's that?
It's me.
It's me. Oh, hi me. I thought I was me. Who are you? Is that Angel?
Yes.
Hi Angel, how's it going? Are you here to save me?
Yeah.
Let me turn you up.
I just went into waiting for interview. Someone dragged me in
Are you able to join the server, or do you need me to share my screen?
share your screen. I don't know if there's a slot for me or anything. That's what it was.
There's nothing revealing on my screen other than this. We're currently on board with the session leader, Ryan Wilson, who is coming along the back straight now. Currently nearly 2/10 up on his best, and will break into the 147s unless he makes a cock up into Parabolica. Taking that quite nicely. Loses, oh no, I was going to say he loses a bit of time on exit, but no, actually gains. Takes the shortest route to the start finish straight line even. And yeah, 2/10 up on his best. Jacob have an answer for that is the question. Might be the last lap of the session.
That's 15. Oh well, yeah. There's 20. It's a 20-minute session, right? But 10 for each.
Oh right.
So 5 more minutes, I think, for these guys in the GTs to set their fastest lap.
"30 seconds. Hypercars may drive to the end of the pit lane."
You hear the race director just confirming there's only 30 seconds left in the session, and these guys will be allowed to finish their last lap. Doesn't look like Ryan will be improving on his time on board with Jacob. Jacob last name. Can you pronounce his last name? Simborowski?
Simborowski?
I think that's how you it. I think he is just
Checkered
peeled
flag
in.
for GT, green light for LMH.
But that's GT quality
GT cars
over
will finish their
currently.
laps.
Yeah, the Griffin car into the 147.8, and I think he's at the pits. No, he's on the back straight. He's on out of Ascari, heading towards the Parabolica at a rapid rate.
Actually up on his
He is
time.
actually a bit up on his time, so I do think he's going to improve. He gets a pretty good Parabolica. It was a bit of a snap there for the Griffin Gaming car. Oh no, he just goes back to the pits. He was up, it says on the server. Actually, no, well, he lost the time in Parabolica, so goes back to the pits. That's quality over. This is the what team is this?
That was Griffin
The
Gaming.
junior car.
Now we're on board with the junior car, who actually improves on his time. And that will be it for the GT3 cars.
Yeah, now everyone else is in the pits. Well, actually, you have the Vortex GT car about to cross the line, I think, or he's heading into the pits, I think.
Apologies, I didn't even
No, he
realize.
crossed the line. I think he did improve, but it's a 152.4. And now, got the top class here, Hypercar. The Ferrari. Well, can I actually say they're Ferraris, or do I say they're VRC Forenzas and
You do
RSS
what you want.
Protex?
You do what you want. There's no rules here tonight.
Yeah, so we have 2 cars in the top class, like always. The RSS Protec, which is a imitation of the Porsche, and then the VRC Forenzo, which is the imitation of Ferrari's 499P. Is that the correct model name for it? 499P?
P49, I think it is.
P49. There you go. Yeah, VRC Forenzo is the interpretation of the P49 here in AC by the VRC. Great guys. Bit of balance between both of them to keep them equal. Obviously, like real life and WEC. So we're gonna watch them go around the Griffin Gaming car using the RSS competitor, the RSS car. Going through the Lesmos, now Lesmo 1 going into Lesmo 2.
The difference between different classes is ridiculous. Like,
Yeah, like Ascari is like in a GT car. It's like is a multiple step thing, and like in these cars they just kind of flick it in. They flick it in over the curb and then just flat out from here. Over the curb. A bit of softer setup, suspension setup probably, to get over these huge curbs like Ascari. This is older laser scan, so you still have those huge sausage curbs. The track as Griffin Gaming car. I think he's the lead car. This Protec, the Griffin red car is following right behind. Across the line, the Griffin Gaming car sets a 135.9. Let's see what the Griffin red car can set once it crosses the line. No, I think they've actually... Yeah, they've actually in the pits. Who's behind him, actually? I may have been wrong.
45 tenths up on the previous lap. Tires are just warming up
the
still.
RSR88. That's a 135.5. Keith is back. Seems the Felipe Olsen and the Griffin Gaming car is going on another lap. Back-to-back laps for him, and he sets his first sector coming into the Lesmo. Lesmo 1. Stalin Alnek goes to pole position with Roberto Rodaccia.
Oh, wow.
35-1. The Griffin Gaming car, the number 8 of Felipe Olsen, has improved. His purple first sector coming out the Lesmo 2, running down into a Ascari now. There's the cool little CSP feature of the visor. As he sets another purple sector, the Griffin Gaming car does, number 8, as they can now run down to Ascari. As I think, let's see, how much are they up? They're up by 2.7 seconds coming down to Ascari. We'll see him brake hard and just turn in. Use all the track as they run wide. Probably could have used a bit more, but they're going to come back into for the shortest time possible. Let's see what Felipe Olsen sets. He sets a 132.8, 2.2 seconds faster than his previous lap. Still on that car, number 26, Roberto Rodaccia. Well, he said he sets a 134.2. Stays P2. Who's next? The RSR 56. Cross the line does not improve. I think the RSR 88 is pit.
It's worth mentioning that Felipe Olsen's practically dominated this series so far, and as you can tell, like 2-second gap between first and second at the moment kind of speaks volumes, but still plenty of time in the session to improve.
Yep. I think the Griffin red car is about to cross the line. So yeah, he's going at a Parabolica right now. Coming across the line. Let's see what he can set. His last time was 140.2. What he sets right now. Oh, he's starting lap. Oh, my bad. Well, now he's come down to turn 1. Two Griffin cars on the grid. One's at the back, one's at the front, but still, I think it's guaranteed points for everyone, right?
Yeah, you're right there. Participation points all around.
Yep. See if the Griffin Gaming car can improve his position. Around 8/10 up, coming into what this corner's called, memory, the Variante. How do you say it? And these corners, I know, Lesmo 1, Lesmo 2. On a 1.3 up. According to the Delta now, the Griffin red car is. Lost a bit of time out of Lesmo 2. As now he comes under the old bridge, which gives you a little glance at the old Monza oval. As he comes running into Ascari. Using a lot less curve than the other Griffin car did on their lap. Just hopping over that one on the exit as they come now to the back straight, coming into Parabolica. Coming into Parabolica, he is around 1.4 seconds up on his time. Gotta get on the gas. Still up and is slightly improving on his time. See what he sets. Sets a 134.2.
Nice.
2/10 down. Still around the 2-second gap to the other Griffin car, but that'd be 1-2 for this Griffin entity.
Yeah.
I don't want to say team because they're two different teams, but
Busa would be happy with that. Nonetheless, if it stays as it is, still just over 7 minutes to go in this session, and Delta not exactly showing me what I wanted to show, but I think this might be an in-lap for Felipe Olsen, admittedly.
yeah, I think this is Felipe Olsen. This is a out lap. Currently, he's about to go set a lap right now.
Okay.
So we have Roberto Rodaccia in the Stallman on that car. Going through turn 1 right now. The turn 1 chicane. Prima Variante. Curva Grande. Got a little helmet cam. The base AC helmet
Yeah.
comes into the Variante chicane into the Lesmos. Obviously, they're using the VRC Forenzo. Both Griffin cars are using the RSS Pro Tech. Obviously, Italian team, so they're probably gonna want to use the Italian-based car. Currently, this Ferrari-based car is in third, and honestly, not too far. It's only a few hundreds separating the Griffin Red car and the Stallone Unlight car, the 26.
Gonna see
Currently
him.
piloted by Roberto Rodacchio. So, and he's 4 tenths up as of right now. So maybe he can improve. By the time we cross the line, it's gonna all depend on this entry and exit of the Parabolica. As he brakes for Parabolica, turns in, keeps it closed, probably run it out super wide, then come straight back in for the shortest line to the start finish. No, he actually doesn't, but still, that's an improvement. 4 tenths, and the 26 is back up into pole position. Not pole position, my bad. Second place.
Pole position in his like class, because obviously Felipe Olsen's in his own.
Yeah, you have Felipe Olsen 3 seconds down. He's probably an outlap, if anything, an in-lap. Maybe, but no, it's an outlap. Yeah, as he's coming in, probably was just prepping. As he starts his lap now. DRS boards, but no DRS for these hypercars. Just a mix of hybrid and conventional horsepower. He brakes for turn 1 and just stays away from those curbs.
I think it's another. Either he's messed up on the exit or warming it up for the next lap. I'm not too sure. I'll be honest. But on board with Carter Jackson now, 6 tenths up. See what that puts him. He will jump up to 4th place at least. He improves. He might even get into 3rd and jump Christoph Boozer.
Yep. Ooh, hits that inside curve with Parabolica. Car snaps a bit. But he's going to come to the line now. Down the main straight. It's up to 10th, and yep, it's up to 4th. There's a few hundredths down of the 21 car. Comes out of turn 1 now. See what he can set. He's already a few hundredths up now coming out of turn 1. So very slight improvement as he comes to Curve Grande. We're heading into the Variante chicane. See if he can improve out of here. Really rides that curve into the entry.
Lost a lot of time there.
Yeah, it's lost a bit of time. Yeah, I was gonna say probably lost a bit of time for how hard he's on the curb. I think that's the Griffin Red car just behind him, also setting a lap. But he is pretty even, if not as of right now, slightly improving on his previous lap time. As he comes to the run down to Ascari, the Ascari chicane, under the bridge where the old Monza oval resides. You can see it right there. As he turns in, I don't think you have the best entry there, but I think he'll get a decent exit. Pretty still dead on with his previous lap time. I don't think this will be an improvement unless he has a pretty good chicane Parabolica. As you see the Griffin Red car down there, and I'll check the time he's setting right now. The Griffin Red car is down by 1.5 seconds, so he's not going to be setting a personal best to our fastest lap this session.
Felipe Olsen's up on his time though, and will be improving once again.
There's over 2 tenths. This RSS car driven by Felipe Olsen is really in a league of its own, the Pro Tech Hypercar. And as he comes out of Parabolica, he's still around 2 tenths up, slight few hundredths down. But he'll probably gain with Parabolica. He's able to get a good exit as he gains in the braking zone. But yeah, he broke later, but wasn't able to broke super deep into the corner, just wasn't able to get the exit. And he's down by a few tenths, but it's still an improvement though. Purple second sector, fast second sector of the session. Still pretty good. The speed trap there, hitting 336 kph, 341 kph max.
Christoph set in purple first sector here. but loses it in the second sector by the looks of things. Might gain again in the latter stage of this lap.
Yeah, a minute 15 left to go in the session. It's all to play for. I think everyone might be on their last few laps in the hypercar class. We're on a second down, I think, off the lead right now. I don't think anyone's challenging Felipe Wilson for that pole position. But yeah, loses 4/10 through his car. I think the 21 of the Griffin red car is going to pit most likely. He won't be improving on his personal best, let alone for pole position. As the RSR car crossing line, I think it broke. I think saw a lock up there. I think he slowed down. I don't think he thought he was going to improve. Griffin red car is about to cross the line too. He does not improve also. Felipe Wilson, by the looks of it, will stay in pole position. As there's the RSR car getting out of the way for the number. What number is he again? The number 21. As the Griffin red car, the 21, driven by who's the 21 driven by currently?
21 Christoph Boozer, I believe.
Yeah, Christoph Boozer set a purple first sector there on that previous lap, and he set one again. He is really confident in that first sector, 32.9. Christoph Boozer, but no, he gives up. So maybe a mistake. He got another purple first sector, and he had crossed the line before the timer ran out. So he could have definitely finished that lap, but I think a mistake might have hindered him, maybe out of the Variante chicane.
Checkered flag.
Apologies for no announcement. Obviously, checkered flag. The race will go into the race shortly.
One car out, the number 88 of Carter Jackson for RSR. He is most definitely on an in lap, but yeah, he stops to go back to pits, and that's the session officially over. Pole position, once again, is a Griffin Gaming car, the number 8 of Felipe Olsen. That is your grid for the hypercars. That.
Someone's got the default Apple ringtone there. Let's see, comments on the live stream. Max Brick says he messed up quali. Hope on a good race though. Yeah, I'm sure there will be. I don't think Luca Mangini is racing tonight alongside him. Admittedly, because of the attendance, I think everyone is practically racing their own race. No driver swaps, but they will have to serve a mandatory stop.
Well, obviously, obviously attendance is a bit low, but still we have six. I think we have six. Yeah, we have 6 hypercars here to race, and we have 4 GTs racing for points. So I think it's still going to be a pretty fun watch, and only a 2-hour race. So I think strategies will be semi-close especially for hypercar. As Felipe Olsen definitely, not even in a sense, definitely dominated qualifying. But if he gets a bad start, it most definitely will not be nice for him to try to get past these other drivers.
I will be at the back of the grid now due to the qualifying. So when the green flag is out, when the race starts, please just stay on the grid. Allow me to go up the middle. Don't set off until I am passed, and then just follow me around as per the practice start we did earlier. Thanks.
I'd say join the TeamSpeak if you're not already in it, just so you know that when the race start does.
Microphone muted.
Just a short wait now until the race begins. We'll be doing a formation lap as shown earlier. Hopefully it'll go a lot smoother than the last one we did. And all the cars are lined up on the grid. Let me just quickly make sure mine's off the grid. that to happen again. And we ride on board with the just scribble their way through that of the grid, and all the cars will line up single file behind until race director announces when they should go into, I'm looking for double formation. No. Currently watching Alex Cochran guide these very fast cars around the Monza circuit, showing off his driving skills. So 400 kilometers around this circuit. Let's see who comes out on top. Spoiler alert, probably Felipe Olsen, but normally right about now I'd go through all the different tyre compounds, but because there's such a mixed grid of different cars, I'm not too sure it's worth mentioning. GT cars.
P1 on the right side of the track. Safety car will now pull away into the pit lane. Leader controls the pace.
Yeah, double file that earlier, right? The safety car begins to pull into pit. We should, as I see, cars slowly making their way around the last corner. Wait, that's not, is it? I'm on anyway.
Just that green flag.
And away we go. Felipe Olsen getting a great start there. Full beans now as they all head down to the first corner. Felipe Olsen braking nice and late. All the cars forming behind him. And changes of position there in the GT3 class. Felipe Olsen still holding on to that lead and already making a break for it. Nearly, well, over 1 second ahead of the rest of the cars. Car number 26 holding on to second place, and it looks like we've already got an off there between car number 60 and what was that, car number 84. Oh, and we've got a car off there. Was that Carter Jackson riding the curb and going onto the grass? Manages to hold on to his position and stays ahead of his teammate. I say teammate. Yeah, the team. They're a team. Loving the little mustache on the front of the car there. Lovely colour combination as well. I think I mentioned this a few races back. Reminds me of the green Power Ranger. For those who used to watch Power Rangers back in the day. And could this be a move for the for second place there? Christoph Buser outbraking Roberto. Makes his way up to second place there. He'll be happy with that move. Out to Jackson. Behind his teammate in the car. Car 56. Who's driving that? Sorry. Car 56. Brandon Cordray. Oh, and once again, both drivers going off there. And Brandon, unfortunately, finding himself facing the wrong way. I would not like pudding, no thank you. Okay. Family member just asking me if I want pudding, and I'll hold off for now. Fortunately missed an overtake there. Roberto making his way back into second. Might see a back and forth between these two throughout the evening. Dawson already 4 seconds ahead.
Hello.
Hi again, Angel.
I'm back. I missed the start, but I'm back. Only a few minutes by. Felipe also still the lead.
No surprise there.
Seeing on the stream, Carter Jackson a bit off in the Ascari. It's a bit delayed.
Right there. Came together, and we've already got our first DNF of the evening. Unfortunately, Carlos Skamanis throwing in the towel. Barely 3 minutes into the race, but c'est la vie, I guess. That one beer has gone to his head.
Yep. That seems it's as it stands as it was qualifying. Whippy Olsen already having a 4-second gap to the second place car, the 26 of the still on that car for Roberto Dacia. On board with the 88 of Carter Jackson coming into his car, chasing the Griffin red car, going through his car right now.
So if Christoph Buser had a bit of a mistake, now finds himself being chased down by Carter, who came together with his teammate lap ago. Still 2 hours of this race.
Watching on the stream.
Anything can
2
happen.
hours, well, minute 55 to be specific. A lot can happen as fastest lap goes for right now. Felipe Olsen 34.8 around this Italian, legendary Italian circuit. Historic, the better word for it. Still legendary, but
I mean,
as
it has. Go on, you first. Sorry.
Oh, you feel that I keep interrupting you when you talk.
No, I was about to say it's has mixed reviews. You know, some people find the circuit very boring, and other people love the long straights that Monza has to offer.
Yeah. Yeah, in my opinion, I love this track. I love Monza. I think it's a great circuit. Even really in any discipline, whether it be open wheelers, closed cockpit, or I don't know, rallycross. I don't know. I think it's always good fun. Especially, yeah, with those long straights. And with those long straights, I was going to talk about, what I wanted to bring up was, recently RSS for the ProTech has nerfed the hybrid a bit. Obviously, in past races, the ProTech had the clear straight line advantage due to its hybrid system. But I think with the update, the hybrid for the ProTech has been nerfed. I do think it is slightly, overall, a bit faster than the Forenzos on the straights, but I think the ballast also, the BOP we've set for these cars should help alleviate it too. As we have Carter Jackson in the slipstream of the 21 for Christopher Bose in the Griffin red car. As he breaks late, he goes for a move into turn one. There's contact. That's him. I think he might have enabled the anti-stall there, just going so slow, as he did stay stationary for like a split second. But yeah, that's not how he wanted that move to go. He might have just outbroke himself a bit there. As we take a look at the GTs, this is for the lead for the GT3 category. Here are Lemons, I think that's the Gaming Griffin, their GT team, with the 84 of, I think, what was, I don't have the list, I have to keep popping it up every time.
I can pass it to you. I just need to pop away for 2 seconds, sorry.
It's all good. I'll open that in another tab as well. I'll zoom in. As Jacob Sembrowski. That's who is in the 84. Facing the Gaming Griffin GT team, the 424, driven currently by Ryan Wilson. As they both come down to turn one, a second is a gap as right now gains a few tenths into turn one. The Variante chicane, or the turn one chicane, hairpin, whatever you want to call it. There's another run down into the actual Variante chicane going through Curva Grande. Behind them are the Hypercars. Felipe Olsen chasing both those GTs. Hopefully they're not going to get in his way, but I don't think it even matters if he does lose a bit of time trying to get past the GTs, as he has a 9.5 second gap in comparison to the guy behind who has a 1 second gap, that being the 21 car of Christophe Bose in the other Griffin car. I think we're going to see Felipe Olsen, just starting to catch these guys by the end of the lap. It's two GTs fighting for the lead. It could hurt or help them. I think he's going to even catch them before Scare. No, I actually don't think he is. Depends on if they let him through. Gets past the Credo Gaming car. I think that's what they're called. The Creto Racing Esports Blue, driven by is that the 88? No, wait, that's the 84. Yeah, of Jacob. They get past him, and he gets past the leader of the GT class, the 424 of Ryan Wilson. As well, that's the 84 going a bit wide there. In through Parabolica, losing a bit of time. He is still pretty close, though. He may try to break a bit later to get back within that slipstream. It seems even so. I think the 84 has, for the current moment, has better straight line speed as he's getting real close. He's really fast. A bunch of overspeed from the 84 car. They go side by side in the turn one with the Griffin Gaming car, as they almost, I think, have contact, maybe a love tap between them. As they go through turn one, is that the Griffin red car behind them. Griffin car loses the lead into turn one. That's the Credo. The 84 getting the move done, as they both get out of the way for the Griffin red car, and out the way for the R-Star car, the 88 of Carter Jackson. I think it's going to be a while till the next car catches them, as new leader for the GT class, Jacob Sembrowski for the number 84, driving for Credo Racing Esports. Your new leader in GT for the current moment, as we come through the second Lesmos. And it just seems like that Audi that they're driving, this being the stock Kuna GT3 Audi, because we're using all the stock Kuna GT3s that are available in the game via DLC or whatever for this series. Seems that Audi, for the most part, has better straight line speed down the main straight, as we saw there. He's able to get pretty quickly side by side with the Griffin Gaming car to get the move done into turn one. As the Stolna car, there we go, the 26 of Roberto Rodacci gets past the two drivers fighting for the lead here in GTs. Ooh, that's again the 84 going wide. side by side now through the parabolic of this Griffin game car getting past and retaking the lead. But I think we're just going to see the Audi clearly, yeah, just immediately, again, go for the overtake. The overspeed in that Audi is crazy. There's most definitely a speed difference between those two. As they go side by side, I think the Audi has put a bit ahead. Ooh, that's the hypercar trying to get past both of them. The leaders, ready for the winners. Ooh, the Credo car gets on the grass and he takes the escape road. I think the hypercar might have scared him off. I think that was the RSR of who was in the other RSR there? Brandon Cordray. I think the number 56 RSR might have scared him off a bit. As we have a fight in hypercar, 310s between the 21 and the 88 for Griffin Gaming Red and RSR respectively. Rising Sun Racing, you see their logo is on the other side of this bridge, where the oval section for that old Monza is. As he goes a bit wide, getting onto the AstroTurf. But I think the Griffin Red car wasn't that stable there through a scar either, as they come down to parabolic. Let's see if the RSR can get the slipstream down into turn 1. I don't think it's going to be as big of a difference as the Audis and I think that was the BMW's straight line speed was for the GTs, but we'll see as they catching up to another GT. That is the Audi.
Yeah.
I think that's
Carlos Samana's back in the race.
Yeah, he's a lap down as it stands right now. Number 60. He did leave the server for quite a bit, but he has rejoined and has continued racing.
What we like to see.
So hopefully regain that lap eventually, and maybe get back to in contention for a better spot. Maybe get on that podium. We have the 84, the Credo Racing esports car, coming to do the move. No, he thinks better of it. Stays behind the BMW of the Griffin Gaming car. But he does stay pretty close to that turn 1. And again, I'm pretty sure this Audi does have better straight line speed than the BMW. Obviously, this balanced performance within all classes, so it should try to make them equal. But yeah, you can just see how quickly the Audi catches up to the BMW, the Griffin Gaming car, the number 424. As I think the Griffin car didn't get the best run through the Variante chicane.
Yellow flag at a
the Lesmos. Ooh, that's the Griffin Red car. That is the Griffin Red car, the number 21, currently driven by I think that's Christopher. I think that's who's driving this car.
Yeah,
Christopher Bose. Christoph Busser driving the Griffin Red car, almost getting beached, but is able to get out of the gravel pit, almost getting beached, and continues on. But that's him down to 5th place. The number 88 of Carter Jackson takes P2 due to that mistake, and he is down all the way again in 5th, 12 seconds off the next guy in front. And he did not want that to happen. I don't think any driver wants that to happen to them. And now it's going to be a game of cash out for him. Maybe you have to go on a slightly longer run, extend this stint, or pit a bit earlier. Let's see what he does to try to get back to that fight. He definitely does have the pace, I feel, to get back in that fight within these 2 hours. But here again, we're watching the lead for the GT class. 84, Jacob, Zambroski, going again for turn 1. The move down to turn 1 as he goes side by side into turn 1. Jabrowski makes it stick and gets ahead this time, even before the apex. And gets in front of the Griffin Racing car. And the 84, again, is now leading GTs here at Monza. As they now come down to... I can't remember core names for the life of me. As they come down to the Variante chicane. I think the Griffin car really took that curving there. I think both of them did. Under the Formula Trout banner they go. Into the Lesmos. I'm repeating myself almost every lap. But it's safe to say that I think this battle is going to be raging on for almost the whole race. 2 hours, I think we're going to see these GTs fighting with each other. Since the Griffin Gaming car has just dropped back a slight bit. after that overtake. We have the number 18, 16 down, 16 seconds off the Griffin gaming car, the 424 GT. As it stands, I think this is how it's going to stay for the GT a little while. But again, already the GT, the Griffin gaming GT, is already catching up. That BMW is definitely not slow. I just don't think it has the advantage when it comes to a straight line, but I definitely do think it's fast throughout the rest of the circuit that's not a main straight or back straight, which is his ability in cornering and entry. But I think this Audi will just like the way we look at the timing screens right now. Does this Audi slightly pull away? Maybe it's slightly there. But to be fair, that Audi every time it had the turn 1 overtake did have slipstream on its hand. But yeah, that Griffin GT car, the Griffin Gaming GT car is already back up to the rear of that this Audi, the 84. But he seems to have fallen back just a slight bit. And yeah, I do think the Audi is pulling via on a straight compared to this BMW of the Griffin Gaming car. Ooh, I think the Griffin Gaming car just dips a tire into the gravel there. I don't think he lost too much time though. As now they come into the Lesmos. See if the GT, the Griffin Gaming GT, can get a good exit. The Lesmos using all that curbing. Obviously, track is curb, so you gotta want to be maximizing all the curbing that is usable. That's not gonna unsettle your car, like these ones coming up here at the Ascar chicane. As the Audi actually avoids them, but the Griffin Gaming car just goes straight over them. So that's a difference in line right there, and that's gonna give the Griffin Gaming car a great shot here for the lead of the race once again, side by side into the Parabolica. But as they're side by side, we see the background there. That is, I think, the race leader. That's Felipe Olsen chasing them right now. The battling GTs for the lead as we go on board with him. But I don't think he's gonna mess with their battle too much as they now come out to the main straight. While the Audi may have the straight line speed advantage against that BMW of the Ukraine GT, this guy has the biggest one. This Hypercar, the ProTech, the RSS ProTech, getting past both of the GT leaders. But the Griffin Gaming car for the GT class gets ahead. We kind of missed that as we were focusing on the Hypercar, but he does get ahead. It puts wheel into the gravel exiting turn 1. And now, no, I don't think you have to defend that hard into turn 1, 2, I guess this is 4 or 3. I don't know what the top of my head. I have a track lamp right here that's just loaded up though. I think that is 4. Yeah, that is 4. And 5, the variant chicane into these Lesmos 6 and 7. And I'm looking at the F1 track map. Obviously, there's no DRS detection between the Lesmos for our series, but there will be, hopefully, for the Premier Series, which we've announced. The test race is just in a week's time, same day, Saturday, as this race at Silverstone. I think currently already we have 20 cars registered for that Premier Series race at the iconic British circuit, again, Silverstone. So we're hopefully more people register, obviously, and hopefully we'll all see you there watching and enjoying basically the first properly ran round for the Premier Series, which is finally making a comeback, I think, almost after a year. It's been almost a year, not fully, but it's been quite a long time since the last Premier Series was ran. As, yeah, it still says qualifying on the stream, so... still says qualifying on the top of the screen, so... If anyone can hear me, that would be very nice to fix. If you can. All good. Here we go. Griffin, I think the Audi of the Creto Racing Esports car. Oh, it's getting overtaken by the RSS the R. I keep saying RSS when I try to talk about it. The RSR car of Carter Jackson is just getting by of those two GTs, still fighting for the lead. But the Griffin car is kind of put. Ooh, that's a little mistake from. Not a little. He went off the racing line completely. That's a pretty big mistake from the 84. Driven by Jacob. And now he's going to get passed by the Stalled Island car coming into Lesmo 2. Hopefully nothing's happened there. But no, I think the Stalled Island car has gone past number 88. Not the number 88, my bad. The number 26 of Roberto Radacci driving that Stalled Island Hypercars. Now he gets past the GT leader. Oh, not a good place. Get past here from Monza. Really important corner. This entry to Ascari. This entry to, as the Ascari, the whole complex prepares you in the GT to get a great run down this straight. Really established. The Audi definitely has, I think, the better top line, straight line speed within the GT3 category. So obviously something like that's not gonna help Griffin Gaming car. But as it stands, though, I don't think the 84 is actually gaining too much time on the class leader here in GT. Look down the straight. Yeah, and that's another RSR car coming down. I think that's the number 56 coming to lap these guys. The GT of the Formula Griffin Racing GT, or Gaming GT. As he gets past the Audi of the Creto Racing Esports Group. They're Audi, and now he's getting past his BMW of Griffin Racing. And that's them letting the hypercar through. I think the Griffin car has lost a bit of time trying to let that GT through. Was getting a bit bouncy over the curbs through that chicane complex as now they exit the Lesmos. 1.3 is the gap. I think he has to kind of be under a second that Audi to get the full, not the full, but start to get those effects of slipstream from the class leader right now. It's a cool little angle under the bridge as they once again go into Ascari over the curb. And I think the Audi still is avoiding that. Ooh, the Audi's a bit slidey through Ascari there in the background. Still around a second behind. We're on board with the Audi now, the 84. The 84 is currently 4/10 up, so he definitely is pushing to get up. But loses a bit of time to Parabolica. I think that's where he's struggling, honestly. As of right now, I think he's kind of struggling in Parabolica. Right now, he keeps going a bit wide there, as that's the last car in the hypercar class. Getting past on the 21 of Christian Bose, spun earlier into a gravel out of a scar. He almost got beached, but was able to make. Wasn't second, now down all the way fifth, bottom of the hypercar class. But he is still trying to catch up. He's 9 seconds behind the next guy in the hypercar class, that being the 56 of I think who's that actually? That's Brandon Portere for the other Rising Suns Racing car. Oh, he's spun. We talk about the other Rising Sun Racing car. He has spun the number 88, number 56. I mean, has spun, and he now has to make up a bit of that time. 20 seconds is the gap between him and the car in front. That gives Christopher Bose, the pilot currently in that 21 Griffin red car, to maybe gain a position and ascend through the rankings. I can't think of the word here in hypercar, the hypercar class. 1.5 is the gap, and I do still think this Protec has pretty decent speed compared. Are they both in Protex? I think they're both in Protex actually. Yeah, they're both in Protex, so ignore me. But still, depending on how their cars are set up, I think the Griffin red car could have lower aero. I wouldn't be surprised if they had a good setup. Obviously, the Griffin car, and obviously the current leader is Griffin car with a 23-second gap to the next car. So But yeah, I think he just has to maybe push for a few more laps to really get into that range, so maybe you can think about going for an overtake on the 56 of Brandon Cordrea. But as it stands for right now, minute 30, minute 34 specifically left to go in this race. Class leaders are for Hypercar, the number rated Felipe Olsen for the Griffin Racing team, and currently that team, the Griffin Racing team, Griffin Gaming team, currently leads both classes. Obviously, I'll just repeat myself. The number rated Felipe Olsen, the Griffin Gaming car and Hypercar, and the Griffin Gaming GT, being driven currently by Ryan Wilson, currently leading GT. Now we follow on board in the interior of this RSS ProTech with Christopher Bowes, number 21, chasing, getting past this car, the number 60 junior car. He's just happy to be here, getting out the way in that Audi for these two drivers who will be fighting for 5th place in, I'm sure, a very short amount of time. They come out of Parabolica. Not the gap. The Rose has gone under a second. We'll compare lap times when they cross the line. As that RSR car set at 136 and Bo is at a 35.4, so he is setting faster lap times, at least for that lap, in comparison to the RSR car. Go on board, seeing the beautifully designed Griffin Gaming helmet there. Go fully on board on this kind of T-cam like setting. As you see him still chasing the RSR car. I just realized the RSR car has its lights on. It has its front lights on, so maybe he's just flicked those on by accident. Obviously, I don't think it'll reach nighttime within these 2 hours. So I think this, yeah, they both have the lights on. Again, I don't think it's gonna reach nighttime, but hey, maybe they gotta turn on the lights for sunset. Oh, that's the RSR car going wide out of a Ascari, and it's gonna give Christopher Bowes, number 21, a great opportunity to overtake just with a simple straight light speed advantage. With the RSR car absolutely sending it down the inside, sending them past both the white line, coming out of the Parabolica, and I did not see that coming. We were on board. We thought the move had been done. Guess if we were on a TV camera or something, we would have saw that absolute send as Christopher Bowes breaks a bit later into turn 1, and what a great move from the Rising Suns racing car. I did not expect that late of a comeback or move into Parabolica. We've seen that happen in real life as well. Obviously, late moves to Parabolica and such, and it's always takes a lot of commitment to go for one there. And, kind of keep it clean and not have contact, and that was just a great move to re-overtake for P5. But Christopher Bowes is still very close, and let's hope, and I'm betting he's hoping he doesn't have to do that again. And goes a bit wide at the end of Ascari. Through Lesma 2, both using that outer curbing the best run they can. I think the Rising Sun racing car has gone a slightly better exit than number 56 has. Under the old Monza bridge into Ascari. Let's see if he messes up again or can keep it pretty clean this time. No. Keeps it pretty clean this time. That's Christopher Bowes doing the exact same mistake. One lap later, getting over that curb at the end of Ascari, bouncing off and just going wide into the grass. As now very pushing. Well, I think that was just barely not over the white line right there. An hour and a half to go left in this race, roughly. Anything can happen. Your leader's 26 seconds ahead of second. But hey, maybe he'll make a mistake and have to pit for immense amounts of damage. You never know. Which is why I should keep watching. 8/10 the gap for 5th place right now, 4th place right now. I mean, these are both still chasing for that 4th position. As he's, ooh, I think he might have just broke a bit late, and no, over the curbing he goes, bouncing over those sausage curbs. Obviously, those aren't in real life anymore, but as you know, sausage curbs in real life are pretty dangerous. You saw the Aston Martin GT3 flip a while ago in real life, but they're great for sim racing because no one's getting their back broken going over sausage curbs in their racing cockpit. As I should stop rambling about that, we're lapping another GT. That is the 18, I think. Yes, that is the 18. They have lapped Christopher Bose and Brendan. I get your last name, Cordray or Cordry. Get past that number 18. They'll probably be catching the leaders again for GT soon enough, who have both spread out from each other a tiny bit, which is a bit sad to see for us. The Griffin Gaming GT car is probably a bit happy for that go to not be constantly battling every lap. As these guys go down the main straight, the Griffin Gaming GT will be coming down. Will be getting caught by these cars in a few whiles. Ooh, that's the RSR car of Brandon Corday, kind of locking up. Well, definitely locking up into turn 1. Bit of a bad line, going wide up T1. To come down to this chicane now. Not close enough, but he's 7/10 down and he's gaining time every lap. So, as again, the Christopher Bose overshoots the chicane that leads to Lesmos. I just lost time. He wasn't able to carry the momentum like the RSR car. 2 times in a row now he's locked up, or not locked up, but misjudged the corner or where he has to brake for Lesmos. So I do think tires could be falling a bit off now for the RSR Pro Tech Griffin red car for Christopher Bose, number 21. Ooh, as he gets a bit snappy there, exiting Safari. I'll see now. Obviously, I do not know off the top of my head what the strategy would be like for a race like this. I'm assuming at least one pit stop for these guys. Obviously, sadly, I don't know off the top of my head how long a stint for these guys would be. Well, I think we should be seeing them pit soon enough. I'm pretty sure. If there is there a mandatory pit? I will check the rules and regulations. Obviously, these are endurance tires, so they are meant to last a bit for a good while. Obviously, much longer than something like F1 Pirellis or such, or IndyCar Firestones. As we get this overhead cam. The RSR car having to defend. Christopher Bose going for a switchback into the Lesmos with this helicopter cam following them. These 2-dimensional trees. As the RSR car is able to stay ahead of Brandon Cordray, the 56. He's able to stay ahead of Christopher Bose. But Alma, that kind of took me out of it, seeing all those trees. At this angle, these trees look pretty fine to me. But over top, there is just a bunch of just 2-dimensional trees. That kind of took me out of it for a bit. Thank God for AC mod creators having 3D trees. That's what I've installed on most of my tracks, and it helps a lot, especially for angles like that. Well, going into the Parabolica now. The RSR car still ahead, and I have to hand it a great job for the defense he's doing right now to keep Christopher Bose behind the 21 Griffin red car. As he's getting past the Audi now, that's P2, the Credo Racing GT car, the number 88 by, no, not the number 84, driven by Jacob Dombrowski. Yeah, ooh, I think that's Christopher Bowes slightly messing up the chicane again. He definitely is pushing, but I think this pushing might hurt him in the long run as his tires may fall off a bit sooner than the Pro Tech in front of him, the Rising Sun Racing car of Brandon Cordray, number 56. So it's much easier to manage tires when you're defending, not attacking. But as we come into Ascari, I don't think he's close enough to actually think about moving to Parabolica. And who are they catching? I think they're going to be catching another GT here. And yeah, that is the leader for the GT, the Griffin Racing GT. Now the GTs are 3 laps down, but the leader stays the same. The giving Griffin GT the 424, driven by I think it's Ryan Wilson. Yes, it is Ryan Wilson. Currently, the only car right now with 2 drivers for this race will be the GT3, the number 18, the Vortex Racing GT with Luke Mangini and Max Brick, both driving that car. Max Brick currently in the car, and you have 2 drivers, so I think they may swap. They most definitely will swap if they have 2 drivers. So we'll probably see that in a short while. Obviously, we're almost halfway into this race. And I would be expecting pit stops. Ooh, again, Christopher Bowes just messing up that chicane. He's always doing it lap after lap. Not to be mean, but he needs to probably calm down on the braking. He is pushing, I don't doubt. But he just keeps missing his, I guess, his braking point. Or his tires are just wearing out from, you know, obviously being on the track for almost 40 minutes now, non-stop driving. The RSR car has been able to pull away due to that slight mistake. If I had to say anything, I think Christopher Bowes might be one of the first to pit. He really does have nothing to lose, obviously. With the amount of people in today, it's guaranteed points for everyone if you just are able to finish the race within the rules of what is considered finishing the race, I guess, and the regulations. Ooh, that's the number 88 of Carter Jackson DNFing. We missed that. But yeah, that's the number 88, Carter Jackson, declaring that he's not finishing, that he's not going to finish this race as he's come back. Carter Jackson has come back. Maybe an internet issue or a game issue or a computer issue, but he's back on the server. He's dropped down to P3 to see the GT leader pass through there, the GT cars. That's the Vortex spun on track with Max Brick in the car, but I guess we'll just focus on this Carter Jackson guy, but that's another GT, second place getting past him in the pits. Carter Jackson is now down to 5th. Both Hypercars have passed, and Christopher Bowes is up into 4th. That means Brandon Cordray in the other Rising Sun Racing car has taken that podium from his teammate, basically. And this puts Christopher Bowes in contention for a podium. He was 2nd, but I don't think he'd be mad with 3rd, especially with how things have played out in this race so far. A minute 20 to go. Seen a race for 4th, turn to a race for 3rd, after a bit of misfortune with one of the hypercars. They're both in equal machinery, fighting for a podium. Then the RSS Pro Tech, same at a BOP. That's a big lockup from the Rising race car, or a bit of a CSP visual glitch. Whatever, we do know that CSP loves its smoke, because that's him pitting. That is the Rising Sun Racing car, the number 21 of Brandon Cordray pitting for, I'm assuming, obviously tires, but probably a bit of fuel too to finish this race on. And I would not be surprised if this guy, the Christopher Bowes in the 21 Griffin Red car, comes to the pit this lap right after. I think Felipe Olsen we'll start seeing all the hypercars pit soon. And maybe even some of the GTs. That's the GT not getting out of the way and getting pushed into the gravel. Yes, Max Brick still in the car. Obviously GT, so he's lapped. He has to get out the way, but Christopher Bowes kind of made him get out the way. You told him, yeah, that was pretty. I was like just processing that. Yeah, you just fully knocked him into the gravel there. I will say, just from my memory, obviously I'm not looking back at the stream, he did not really give that much space to that hypercar get past. But Christopher Bowes fully knocked him out of the way. But again, we'll just have to see what happens with stewards and incident reports. But yeah, that's Christopher Bowes not really taking any chances. He's most likely going to try to push, as that's Felipe Olsen and the Roberto Radaccia pitting. It does say DNF, that is just AC. We know this is an actual DNF, as we saw in pit. He is going for, I think, a driver swap, maybe, as you do have to disconnect from the server to swap drivers. Felipe Olsen in the pits, and Christopher Bowes in the pits. Brandon Cordreal is still in the pits. I think it's a pretty long pit stop for everyone. Obviously, with the Trout-made endurance app, obviously we keep pit stops equal and try to replicate how it is in real life. That's just not an all-night car. You joining driver swap complete, but I think you will have some time to wait still before you can leave the pits. Just like iRacing, you have to wait in the pits. There's times it tells you how long you have to wait until you can fully leave the pits to keep everything equal and like endurance racing in real life. Our solution in the virtual world of sim racing to replicate endurance racing. Felipe Olsen is out already, I think, on the track, if it's just the amount of laps. Yeah, he's already out on the track. And Roberto Radaccia, I think, is still waiting. Christopher Bowes is still waiting, but we have Brandon Cordeal on the track right now. He's just left. We have Carter Jackson in fourth. I think he's actually overtaken his teammate, but he has not pit, obviously. So, unless that disconnect counts as a pit, which it did, obviously he was in the pits, but I don't think he's officially done a pit. So we'll just see how that plays out. But yeah, I think Christopher Bowes is still in the pits, and yes, he is. He's still stationary in the pits. Brandon Cordere, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. He's definitely going to want to push. Where is he on track right now? I'll start comparing them. Brandon Cordere is currently entering Lesmo 2, passing the, currently out of Lesmo 2 now, going through the corner. Christopher Bowes still in the car waiting. I do see, I think his, obviously Wildlife Timing Apps actually shows us a little bar for their speed, and I think he might have pressed the gas or something while waiting in the pits in neutral or something, as we did see the bar go like slightly up just a second. Brandon Cordreal is now down the back straight. He's heading towards that Parabolica. Carter Jackson is up to third after passing Christopher Bowes for fourth. Obviously, again, still has to pit. But Christopher Bowes is now leaving the pits. He's finally leaving the pits. Brandon Cordere is now running down the main straight. I don't think he's actually able to get past him, though. Brandon stays behind. He actually gets behind Christopher Bowes, staying out that extra bit longer, has helped him out. He has taken third place. Well, he has taken third place on strategy, obviously, from Brandon Cordere. I don't think... Well, Carter Jackson is third place currently. He does still have to take a proper pit stop. Disconnecting obviously didn't count, for whatever reason that was. So once he pits, Christopher Bowes is in a net P3. And Roberto Dacia is still in P2. Felipe Olsen, obviously, still leading this race. And I just realized Roberto Dacia is now officially a lap down from Felipe Olsen. So that put into perspective how dominant he's been this race. And that is Jacob's Dombrowski, Jacob Dombrowski, pinning and going for his swap and fuel and tires and all that such to get done in endurance pit stop. And I think the Game and Griffin GT, I think, hasn't pit yet either. I will check though if he has pit. Pit stops. He has. I think he actually has pit. No, he is not. He has not pit. I don't. He's not pit. The Griffin GT car. So he is in the lead, and Max Brick is in P2, but I think this could be a battle for the lead on strategy, at least for right now in the GT class. Here on Carter Jackson, he's chasing the stall on the car. Ooh, getting a loose there in his car as he was chasing the Stala Allneck car, the chicken car. Here, iconic Formula Trout. He's raced in many series with that chicken on the car. Go. Carter Jackson still chasing. I don't think he's gonna get close enough. Obviously, he's around 3 seconds back from Roberto Dodges. I think that's a GT in the background leaving the pits. I think that was the number 84. Finally leaving the pits. Jacob's still in the car. And a minute back from the next guy, but I think Max Brick still needs to pit, go for his driver swap. The Gaming GT still leading. And Carter Jackson still in third. We'll have to see if Carter Jackson pits, obviously, because he did leave the server, but I do think he would have, once he reapplied his setup, may have adjusted the fuel, obviously, but maybe he might have just put in a full tank of fuel. Let's see what happens with that. But even if I don't think a full tank of fuel in this car would still make it to the end. Even when he rejoined, I think roughly like an hour 30 to go. Even so, I do think he would have a similar amount of fuel as the car in front, between the 26 of the Stallman Allneck. Roberto Bardaccio driving that car in the Forenza, the VRC Forenza. And I think it's a pretty good position for them. Second place will be a podium. I think Felipe also has been a league of his own. It's been a league of his own in a league of... It's kind of just hard to put into words. He's been dominant this whole race and will probably be dominant for the next hour and 11 minutes as it stands right now. In this race, in his Griffin Gaming car, number 8, using the RSS ProTech, which is the interpretation of the Porsche. I forget what it's called. I forget what these hypercars are all called. I don't remember their official names. Weather sense. Oh, I just... Yeah, the number 8 Griffin Gaming car is still leading this race. On board with Carter Jackson. Same car, the RSS ProTech. In third place. He's going through the lessons right now. Yeah, it's still on the car. It's slightly pulled away. As for right now. And seemingly, I think, unless something happens, we're gonna see this. Continue to see Carter Jackson. My main intrigue right now is if Carter Jackson can actually make it to the end of the race, because I'm assuming, obviously, he was disconnected for maybe an internet or a game or computer-related reason. But once he rejoined, he could definitely just put in how much fuel he wanted, like his setup that he hopefully reapplied when he rejoined the server. So, could he make it to the end from this point on? It's a minute. We joined back, I think, with like a minute 20 roughly to go. So that's a GT car kind of holding up the song on the car, which I think Carter Jackson is very happy to see in the 88. And maybe he can make it to the end with a bit of fuel management, lifting here and there, but I will be tasked for him, I do think, as now Carter Jackson himself passed that GT leader of the Griffin Gaming GT. Don't think that's helped too much. Ooh, that's on the car again, getting held up by a GT. still not losing that much time to Carter Jackson, though. I think Carter Jackson himself will kind of get held up here through the Lesnas from this GT driven by Max Brick. Correction in my notation is the Hypercars obviously responsibility to get past these GTs. They do not. The GTs don't have to move out the way. They gotta stay their course, stay on the line. It's the Hypercars' responsibility to get around. So I'll say that incident with the GT and Christopher Bowes and the Griffin Red car. Obviously, again, still, we'll see, with incident reports, they do report that. We'll see how it plays out in the stewards room. But right now, just thought I'd clarify that. As Carter Jackson coming down to third. Not third, maybe he's in third gear, but coming down to Parabolica. And out of Parabolica comes, coming to set a lap and continue on racing. No issues, hopefully. 36.1. Roberto Doctor said 36.4. So, seems Roberto Rodacci, at least on that lap, was a slight bit faster than Carter Jackson. So, currently that he is, I think both these guys are fully pushing within their machinery. As it stands, I think it's going to take a good amount of more pushing up from Carter Jackson's Roberto Rodacci than it does Rodacci. Oh, that's Roberto. Oh no, that's Roberto Rodacci spun the number 26 on the car spun. It is dropped down to third. He might have gone a bit too much to the curb here. These curbs are lethal on a set of Corsa. And I think he might have just ran too much curb and spun the car around into entry or exit. I've done it myself a few times hot lapping, and it's fully spun his car around. He drops down to third. Just talking about how it's probably a bit easier for Roberto Rodacci to keep this position. That he probably won't have to push as hard due to the gap between Carter Jackson. He spins, just relegated down to third. I think we kind of missed it there. That's been happening, but Max Brick, the number 18 Vortex GT team car, has a pit. I think it will be his driver stop currently. But obviously, Roberto Rodacci spun. I think Carter Jackson, though, if he does pit, I'm trying to think of what I was trying to say. Does pit, I think he most likely will drop behind Roberto Rodacci again, obviously. And I think he might get in between that battle between Christopher Bowes and Brandon Cordry, fighting for a net P3. Net P3 if Carter does pit. As Christopher Bowes in that 21 car sets, I think that was a lap time faster than Brandon. As I see all the GTs pitting there now, we got the Junior 60, the number 18 of Breaku is serving his stop, and the 84, he was a lap down from the other GT, but I think that GT still has to pit. I think, if I'm right, as if my life timing page is right and pit stops are correct. But we'll see. We'll compare lap times to these two, Carter Jackson and Roberto Rodacci. I don't think Roberto Rodacci has gotten any damage from that spin earlier. A few laps ago. He said 36.3 for Carter. 34.4 for Roberto Rodacci. This is his personal best of the session. So a few tenths faster than the 88 Carter Jackson. This man we're on board with now, I think at this point, is just cruising with the gap he has. Felipe Olsen, number 8 for Griffin Racing, is in the lead. Has been in the lead since lap 1. Has really had no one contest him for this lead. As he's lapping a few GTs now. I think that is number 18 right there. Number 18 of Max Brick oh! I think Max Brick tried to get out the way there, just get off the racing line. But obviously, I think, and I think it was just miscommunication. Felipe also tried to overtake around the outside, and Max Brick tried to go on the outside, let Felipe Olsen go, and I think it almost just caused a collision there. We are just talking about how no one has really rivaled Felipe Olsen for this lead, and I was about to jinx them so hard. But thankfully, no contact arrived from that kind of sticky situation, but get to turn one he goes. He's still leading. He has no damage, hopefully. And he's still being pretty dominant since he's been at the start of this race. And yeah. Carter Jackson still Carter Jackson's a lap down, which from Felipe Olsen, who's in P2. So again, yeah, I don't think Felipe Olsen has to worry even if he does get in an incident, unless it's like an incident that flips his car around. Which, with how heavy these hypercars are, I would be shocked if any of these drivers can really flip their cars around on the top of their heads in an incident. As Carter Jackson gets past that GT, that's the I think that's a Lamb. I think it's an Audi actually. I can check my thing, and yeah, that's a Audi. As Carter Jackson as what to Dacia. Oh, I think the leaderboard glitched a bit there. I was about to say what happened with the leaderboard. But Carter Jackson's still leading Roberto Radacci. Roberto Radacci, I think, is catching maybe a bet every lap, but obviously managing tires is important. And endurance racing is one of the key aspects. I think he is just trying to maybe wait out of Carter Jackson to fully pit. Obviously, again, did leave the server and came back with probably an issue, dropped him down, but things haven't all after that. Things haven't actually turned too bad for him, honestly. Although that's the Gary go. That's the Griffin Gaming GT. I guess we missed him when he went to the pit. So that's him leaving. He has served his pit stop. He's served a pit stop, and he's still in the lead. But that Audi, the 84, the Creto Gaming Racing GT, is only 10 seconds behind, and with basically an hour to go left in this race, definitely could make that up if he rolls up his sleeves and tries to get those lap times in there. And speaking of only 1 hour left in the race, around in a minute and a half, we will officially reach the halfway point of this 2 hour of Monza race. Or 400 kilometers of Monza race for the official naming, but roughly around 2 hours. Yeah, 2 hour and a minute left to go until we officially reach this halfway point. We're looking at the stall on the car, and it's very what would I call that type of white? I guess just a very like granite pattern type white with the red accents going down the track. Very reminiscent of a chicken, which is on their car. It's their logo on the car, you can see there. But as this chicken car across the line, it's 30 seconds to the halfway point of this race. Lights are still on here at dawn at Monza Autodrome, whatever the official full name of Monza is. And in a few seconds, we reach the halfway point of this race. And I think as Stall on the car laps this GT, we've officially reached the halfway point. An hour now left in this race. Everyone's on their pit stops and stuff. Everyone's refueled, everyone's changed tires at least once at this point. And now everyone's going to the end of the race. Maybe a few more pit stops will come in. We'll see, but Right. 2 seconds is the gap. Alright. But Roberto Daci is actually catching up to Carter Jackson. 58 minutes, 59 minutes more specifically left to go, or more accurately, I should say, for everyone in this race at Monza, and he's catching up to Carter Jackson. Now getting under that 2-second mark, just under braking. Carter Jackson has pit, obviously, and so he will need to, I think, pit. I don't think he will have enough fuel to finish this race, unless he starts trying to save fuel, and he is going a lot slower now, so maybe I think he maybe has realized that, or has planned to do it at this specific moment. Go, Carter Jackson. Now it's gonna be on basically opposite from what was happening earlier in this race. Now Carter Jackson's bringing the defense for Roberto Dacia in this very race worn at this point. GRC Forenzo or Stalin on that, because number 26 is gonna be on the attack. As we head into the last portions of this race. As we are on the rear wing of the Rising Sun racing car. Looking at those two big exhausts on the back of this hypercar. Being that Italian hypercar, that Italian team, Solonic, chasing them. And hopefully trying to get the move done before that clock hit 0. You might have lost a bit of time that lap. No, it's under second, I think, by the time of this braking zone. I think, no, it stays around 1.1. Yeah, they've gained time through that time. Yeah, now it's officially under second. But I think it's got to be a few more tenths the chicken hypercar has to get before slipstream really starts kicking in for these guys. But he is really trying, to tell you that, to try to get this slipstream to work. Or to get in the slipstream, my bad. My wording is a bit weird on that. But this is the main battle on track right now. Rising Sun versus Stalin Allneck and Hypercar. GTs, there will probably be a battle a bit, as the 84 is only 5 seconds behind the Gaming GT, and I do think he's slightly catching with every lap. Let's see if he can catch up to him within 56 minutes times, as the clock can hit 56 minutes exactly, just a few seconds. But this, I think, is the main battle right now. This RSR car versus this Stalin Online car. 26 versus 88. Roberto Dacia versus Carter Jackson, as they come out of the Parabolica in this very fall Monza. All the orange trees and such, the leaves falling. Monza looks very good with fall, I think. Obviously, I think they, due to like the weather in Italy, like I think you're back last year even, they like cut down all the trees in Monza, and I think it was like either it was 2023 where like Monza looked like a barren landscape because of no trees. I think it looked a lot better this year at Monza when Leclerc took the win in F1, which I'm talking about specifically, is all the trees don't look good on that angle. All the diagonal, very angular leaves. Is that one big leaf, or looks like all the trees have one big leaf? Yeah, Roberto Dacia. See all the dirt on that car too. That's very cool to see. But all the dirt on that car just shows how hard they've been racing and such. As a little bit of dust flies off with Carter Jackson putting a little bit of tire onto the gravel or sand or whatever it is. 8/10 the gap for second place. Carter Jackson, Roberto Dacia, Rising Sun Racing, and Solna Allneck. Roberto Dacia really throws in the corner there, while Carter Jackson trying to keeps it tight, and he's gained a few tenths just through that corner as they come down the main straight. Ooh, you're gonna so much time through turn 1. I'm betting that time was Yevon, and you see the delta on the interval on the leaderboard is gone a lot down. It's gone down a ton. 4/10, under 5/10. The gap is between these two, and yeah, this is gonna become really close as they leave the chicane into the Lesmo 1, into Lesmo 2 in just a few seconds. Let's see if Roberto Rodacchia can gain a bit of time on exit. And I think he has actually. He's made a pretty good amount of time on exit. Into the Oscar chicane, you can have a lap of GT though in just a few seconds time. I think that is the leader. Ooh, as a Carter Jack just sends it down the inside. And oh, is he gonna hold up the stall on neck? No, that's Max Brick getting out the way and letting these hypercars continue their battles. Ooh, that's Max Brick spinning out. That's a GT spinning out. Will he catch it? Yes, he does catch it, and right back onto the racing line. He gets off it though because he's very slow. But nice catch from Max Brick. But we'll focus back on this hypercar action. Oh. Turn 1 helicopter cam. Will the chicken car send it? No, he will not send it. Oh, but it gets really close. See the smoke coming up from the RSR car, and this is definitely the closest battle on track now. The chicken car versus the RSR car. I feel like I'm repeating myself like every few minutes because this is really the only thing happening on track right now. Fighting for second place. I think first place is a done and dusted deal, but this 26 installment on that car in this VRC made hypercar, the Forenzo, is chasing this RSR made Protec as they both lap a Kunos GT3. The Audi to be specific. That's the number 84 getting lapped once again. But yeah, now the sun is really setting. This angle, I really like this angle. Seeing the sun, the glares of sun hitting the windows though. Now they're passing GT lead. Ooh, it gets a bit close. As all the GT kind of turns in on the hypercar, the Stallman Almanac gets ahead, and I think that's going to cause the GTs now to get into a battlefield lead. And in one shot, we have the leaders for the battle in hypercar and the leaders for GT both battling within the same shot. I think that little incident there has definitely not helped the GT, and it has not. That gap has dropped down significantly. Now I think under 1 second once they enter the Parabolica.
Passing slower cars.
While these guys are fighting, we have the GTs now who are going to start fighting basically within this lap. It's under a second now, with 50 minutes to go. We have some pretty good battles going on. For the amount of cars on track, the action is definitely not stopped, and this race definitely is very interesting. Oh, that's the Audi already going for a move into turn 1 against the Gaming Griffin GT car, the Griffin Gaming GT car, driven by Ryan Wilson, the number 424. And yeah, the Audi straight line speed is now showing itself once again once it gets into that slipstream. And yeah, he's just going for a move everywhere he can see it. Maybe he'll go into a move into the chicane. I think he will. Sends it down the inside. I think he's going to outbrake himself. Yeah, he breaks himself most definitely. We'll have to let the Griffin GT car by and let him through. And I think he's going to have to let this hypercar through too. As, the Stallman car is very close now. Going into the Ascari. Will he think about a move into Ascari? Now he pokes out. I think he's going to, he's not going to commit to it. He's going to stay back and maybe try to get moved down the straight. As we come down into the Parabolica now. Well, we're heading towards it. 3/10 the gap between these two hypercars. The Stallman like in the Rising Sun Racing cars. Ooh, throws it in. Goes a bit wider. But is not going to be able to make it stick that well. Not as well as Carter Jackson did in that RSR car. Number 26. Roberto Rodacchia in the Stallman car. He's in the slipstream, but I don't think the slipstream is as effective, seemingly, as it is in those GT cars. As we'll see them lap this, the number 60 car here. who was 1 lap down, but is now front of Max Brick in this race. So glad to see that he's made a position after a pretty unfortunate start of, I think, getting into an incident with the server, but he has come back to continue racing, and he will finish 1 position better than he started. But as this Monza race is coming to close sooner than later, this is still the main battle for second place. Rodacchio versus Carter Jackson. I think we actually may see a move as Max Brick spins into Parabolica. We are going to see a move. The song on like side by side with Carter Jackson. No, just again backs out at the Ascari. It's very hard to get a move done at Ascari in any discipline, but especially with cars this wide, it's very hard to get a move done. And the Carter Jackson stays ahead for another lap, and is still on the fence against the Solomon Alnick car. But the Solomon Alnick car has lost a bit of time to Carter Jackson, as he did kind of commit to it, but just decided to stay back. And the gap is back to around a second now. The Solomon Alnick car is definitely going to have to push to try to regain that time lost to the Solomon Alnick car. As if you, and I'd just like to explain, I went silent a bit ago. A package came to my door. I had to run a bit. If that's we were wondering, if anyone for some reason was wondering, I was so quiet. Just like I think like 20 minutes ago at this point. So I didn't know why I bring it up. I've just been like commenting on this, trying to open a stylus, like a cartridge and whatever what is this called again? It's like the stylus for a vinyl player, because I found one at Goodwill for like $15. It was all in working condition. All I needed was a stylus. So I've been like opening that up while I've been commentating on this race. But here we go. I think Solomon Alnick much closer now, 4/10. Not close enough, I think, to fully think about a move coming into Ascari. Look at that Marshall on the side of the track doing their nice little virtual job of keeping the track safe. But Solomon Alnick stays behind in third for right now. And I think the Ferrari may be not as strong in the straight line speed department as the ProTech, as I think I'm going to stand corrected here. No, actually, I don't think I think Solomon Alnick going to think about a move. Oh, he sent it down the inside! The Solomon Alnick car. No! He sent it down the inside and is not able to make it stick. He hits the rear end of the Rising Sun racing car. But it's just not able to make the move stick, and gets unstable and just bows out and has lost a bucket load of time to Carter Jackson. Around 2 seconds now, he's back to the 4:10, 3:10s, 2:10s he was behind Carter Jackson now. As they both get past his GT car, Max Brick. We saw a little early on spun, but he's still on track, still trying to finish this race, get those points, as the sun is setting even more here in Italy at Monza. We're gonna take a quick peek at the race. Oh, that's a GT off. I heard him into the gravel. Yeah, that's a GT off. I heard him hit the gravel. That's second place. That is
green flag
84, and that's I think that's a battle for GT. No, less likely to happen. Read that the gravel, and just immediately went off. But again, Felipe Olsen still leading this race, and no one has even come close to this guy all race. He's been dominant. He's been fast. He's been everything you want a racing driver to be. And if there's any virtual photographers, this would definitely be a nice shot, seeing the GT, the Griffin Gaming GT, getting passed by the Griffin Gaming Hypercar. For all those drivers with the replay, that's going to be a nice, especially for Christopher Bowes, that's going to be a nice place to, and Felipe Olsen, a nice place to take some screenshots with the replay after this race. Both of them, Griffin Gaming in its entirety, leading this race currently. Both Griffin teams in each class leading the race. As we pop on board with the Roberto Rodacchio and his number 26 Solomon Alnick. I see there the wheel, that very Ferrari-like wheel, and this VRC Fiorenzo little Solomon Alnick logo on the dial. They come into the chicane. He is making up the time, Roberto Rodacchio is. He was only he was around 2 seconds back, but he's already under a second, into Carter Jackson. So he's definitely not giving up even after that move attempt. But here we go into Ascari again. We are running towards it under that bridge which houses the old Monza Oval, used all the way back in the 60s, 50s. We have the Italian team, the Italian car with the Italian driver going for a move down towards Parabolica. Is in that slipstream. He's second behind for a long time. He's going to go fully side by side now. Will he send it again? I think he will. Side by side to the Parabolica. No, he just stays behind. I thought he would have sent it again like he did last time. But no. It's all on. Just staying on the track, not crossing the line there. Stays on the track. It's going to get, I think, a big run maybe. Down here, no, I don't think the solution is going to be that strong down the main straight for these hypercars. But he stays behind, gains time under braking, clearly, just visually gains time under braking. But over that curb, huge sausage curb he goes over, and he's still chasing this ProTech P96, the RSS Pro 9 P96, driven by Carter Jackson in the Rising Suns 88. And yeah, it's definitely gotten a lot more closer to sunset. At the start of this race, you really see the oranges and really fallish, I can't speak English. The fall colors now popping out of the trees with those dying. Well, they are dying leaves, right? I may be dumb, but I think those like those leaves are dying, so they're turning orange and stuff. But it looks beautiful all nonetheless, especially with these machines running around this track in the fall time. That's the Carter Jackson get past that GT number 86. Auto number 84. I mean, gets past. Oh, they're side by side. I think it's so on in the lead. That is. And that GT, I think that move for that GT may have compromised Carter Jackson just a slight bit. And as Root just went through his car, and that's allowed Stalin Olnek to take the lead. Not the lead. I keep saying for the lead. I just keep forgetting Felipe Olsen's up there. That allows him to take P2.
Take care.
But a lead in there. But a lead in their own sense, since I don't think they're gonna. I think they kind of know they're not gonna compete for the win against Felipe Olsen. As now Carter Jackson finally pits. I think that was his plan all along, just to pit if the Stalin Olnek car ever passed him. But the Stalin Olnek car, I think it might have been a bit shaken up from that little incident that happened in Ascari. Loses the car in turn 1, but it doesn't matter. Carter Jackson is pit. And Roberto Radacci is in P2 now for Stalin Olnek at the 26. A lap down from Felipe Olsen, but it is still a really good position and a scoring position for his team. And even 21 of Christopher Bowes, and obviously we talked about this a long time ago, Christopher Bowes up at a P3. On the podium again, one place down from where he started, but still a good recovery, all things considered. And I don't think Brandon Cordray is gonna actually pass his teammate Carter Jackson in the pits. He's 2 minutes down, roughly. I think that's from his teammate, or I think that is 2 minutes down from his teammate, or I think that might be yeah, no, that is from his teammate. As Carter Jackson leaves the pits, 50 seconds down from Christopher Bowes. But Stalin Olnek, great for them to see them get P2. They're definitely trying there for a few laps to get it done. But that little incident with, not incident, but little, I guess, just misjudgment of where to try to overtake that GT from Carter Jackson didn't help him, and he lost the P2 to this chicken car of the Stalin Olnek, number 26. And I guess we'll talk about them. Gaming GT, the Gaming Griffin GT car still leading. And for Hypercar, Felipe Olsen still leading in the same exact team, Griffin Gaming. Having 2 separate teams in each class, both leading each class. This is a good day for Griffin Gaming. 39 minutes to go in this race. I have to say this has been a pretty good day for Griffin Gaming. They're in both classes currently. As we go down the Monza straight, I think we're gonna know who the winner is in 38 minutes time. It's gonna be Felipe Olsen, 99%. That 1%'s for any accident or incident that could maybe happen, but 99% sure this guy's gonna be the one to cross the line first. 52 laps is completed around this clockwise circuit here in Italy. Temple of Speed. Della Roja, he goes through right now. That's the name of that corner. I just keep calling it a chicane, but that's it. That is Della Roja into Lesmo 1. Going into Lesmo 2. Out of it right now. Get on the gas. He's all that curbing. Down. And just back straight into a scar. That's how they go in order. Yeah, this guy just dominated Hypercar the whole day, the whole 2 hours. And it's nice to see someone be this fast, I guess. Obviously, it would be nice to have a battle for the lead, but I think we had a pretty decent battle with that all that kind of Rising Sun racing car with Roberto Radaccia and Carter Jackson for a bit there. But I think now it's just going to be smooth sailing from here as Felipe Olsen pits. He definitely can. He's a lap ahead of the guy in second. But he pits. And I'm assuming this is maybe for new tires. Maybe a tiny bit of fuel. Maybe he miscalculated. Maybe he's got to refuel. But no, he's just going for a regular stop. Has he stopped? I don't think he stopped actually. I don't think he had stopped before, actually. I could be wrong. I thought he had stopped before. He had stopped. So, yeah, I guess all that cars coming in. I guess, yeah, they have to pit twice. I guess a single stop wasn't enough to finish. So wait, does this put Carter Jackson back into contention for the podium? I think Chris Rose might pit too, as Carter Jackson has kind of been put on the alternate strategy now. But Chris Rose does not pit. Stays out, and all the spotlights here at Monza turn on. Felipe Olsen completes his driver swap or pit and rejoins the server. Still in the lead.
Notice that all cars' headlights are now mandatory.
Bose is still in second, 2 minutes behind. Gets in second. Roberto Radaccia is in the pit still. I think Christopher Bose may pit though also as well. Yeah, see all those spotlights on the main straight. It's actually the first time I think I've seen that on AC. Seeing those spotlights turn on. I've ever seen that before. And you see it on my time playing, and that's very surprising. I don't think it's just because I don't think I've ever put Monza at night, because races in real life in Monza don't really happen. So I don't think I've never had the urge to crank that time to midnight and throw on a Monza hot lap. See those lights on the bridge for Monza Oval up here, as we're just watching this red Griffin Gaming car pull some laps. Probably very much pushing to maybe pit. Maybe if he doesn't pit this lap, I don't think he will pit. If he doesn't pit the next 2 laps, look at all those spotlights. That looks very good. That looks very nice. All the spotlights on the back and main straight here at Monza. To Parabalki even they have the lights. Oh, that looks so nice. Yeah, as he holds the inside. That's Christopher Bose in the 21 red Griffin Gaming car. Separate teams. Pitting. Felipe Olsen's already out on the track. And Felipe Olsen, where is he on track? He is now entering the Della Roja chicanes right now. Going to lap a GT car in just a bit. As we see Christopher Bose sitting in the pits. Sadly, we have no really animations to see what he's changing or what he's doing in the car. Oh, God. That death stare, that deadpan stare of the driver model. That's meant to represent him in the car. So, I don't think it helps with all the flat lighting. hopefully get shell shock from this race a bit there, but here we have the main Griffin. Oh, we were just on board from. We're watching Max Brick now. The GT P9 overall and P4 in class. But he has had a few incidents, but he's kept it relatively clean, and we'll finish the race at this point. We'll finish the race if he can keep it on the track. As 56, Brandon, as Brandon Cordry, didn't DNF? Did he pit? Did he leave the server because he pit? I wasn't checking because we were watching Max Brick. And that's the junior car actually that lap Max Brick. So we'll see if he's able to do that by the time this race ends. At 56, we'll have to wait for him to rejoin. As still hasn't rejoined. Yeah, I think this race has calmed down a lot since those first few laps with those hypercars battling and such. I think these last 30 minutes might just be a relaxing sit down and just watching some cool GTs and a hypercars just run around and do some laps. Yeah, it's most definitely feels a lot calmer now. Nighttime racing, it's always a bit more calm. Obviously, there's chaoticness of it just being at night and incidents and such. Just like a Le Mans. But, just watching cars basically hot lap at this point, trying to just get to the end of this race. And we're almost at 30 minutes to go, and yeah, it's really getting dark here at Monza now. Spotlights are even become a bit brighter. I'd actually never noticed they had spotlights here either. I've never noticed they had spotlights here at the back straight of Monza. I don't think have they done a night race at Monza in real life? I wouldn't even know. But I don't think they have. Maybe like a local event or something, but I don't think really any major sporting event that's had Monza at night. Obviously, WEC holds Monza in the day, so there's no reason to turn the spotlights then. But it would be cool if they do have these spotlights still in real life to see, I don't know, something like GT's race at night, the colder conditions and such. As we come to the last 30 minutes and 50 seconds time of this race, Felipe Olsen still dominantly leading this race, and the Gaming GT had a bit of pressure. The Gaming Griffin GT had a bit of pressure on it, a bit early in this race, but still, Lena, I think that's Brandon Cordry out of the race. I think he's DNF'd. I generally do think he's DNF'd. I thought he just left the server due to pitting, but no, I think he's actually has not finished this race. I haven't been looking at the Discord chats either, so I know some drivers like to post.
Sorry, I've been so silent for the last hour and so. I've just been hyperventilating, not trying to throw up. But yeah, you've done a really good job at commanding the commentary. Appreciate that. Tell me more about the stylus. I want to know about the stylus.
Oh, yeah, no. So I was talking earlier because I was just trying to think of stuff to talk about.
No, please tell me. I'm intrigued.
Yeah, no, I don't even know which one I bought. I just did basic like research, and it was just like, this is a budget cartridge and like whatever it's called, like head shell combo to use on your turntables. I was like, I'll buy it. It has the same connection and stuff, so I'll just buy it. It's I have it right here actually. It's I bought this like for 15. It's an Ion TT USB.
Or is that the stylus now, or the turntable?
That's the turntable. That's what it is.
Okay.
An Ion USB TT. It's literally, it works everything. It spins fine. I checked it and like stuff online. It works everything fine. It literally just doesn't have the stylus. whatever.
Is it
On
belt
it.
driven?
Yes, there's a bell in it.
Okay. And it's your
It has
first
two-
turntable.
Yeah, I just like it was $15 and I saw it, and I was like, okay, might as well. It works. I tested it and it works well. And all I need to buy was this. I think this was only like $25, which I didn't expect it to be that much. I thought this was gonna be like fit for like $5 or something. I didn't know how much people. I knew like with turntables were like the audio whole like audiophile thing, but I thought that mainly like was for like headphones and stuff. I didn't know how like in depth vinyl stuff got.
Oh yeah, you can spend a fortune. I missed mine. Well, I think I gave it away.
Yeah, I bought like well, I already had Daft Punk, his Discovery vinyl laying around because I bought it like a while ago, just to have it. But I also did just buy like an old one from Goodwill, also just like a random one to test it with once I got the stylus. But hopefully we'll have someone else join the stream soon. But 27:30 to go. It's very dark here at Monza. Again, it looks very cool with spotlights, but then you get into the second sector, past turn one, and it's just pitch black besides your headlights.
Cozy.
And this is pitch black besides like some of the side lighting for I guess like with the Marshall post and then it's like Le Mans, like you have all that light in the main area, like the sector one with like all the grandstand and stuff, and then a back straight is just pure dark.
Hopefully someone can send a search party out for Brandon. I know what happened.
Yeah, I thought originally he pit because it says like when they pit or whatever, obviously they leave the server for the driver's swap and such. That's installing all that car, I think, lapping of the 84 Credo car driven by Jacob right now.
And there we
That's,
go.
I think that's the GT car. That's I can't remember the life of me. Ryan Wilson in the Griffin Gaming GT car, number 424. For overall position and getting past Brandon Ordre. Is that am I pronouncing that right?
Yeah, Caudry.
Cordray. Yeah. That's him passing him for overall position in this race. Was that a Lemons? Was that a Lemons first?
I think so. I could be wrong.
So like, it is always strange, I guess, when you see a GT finish ahead of a hypercar in the standings, unless like they DNF'd in this case, but.
Oh.
And yeah, that's Jacob Zimbrowski in the Audi GT3 Credo Racing Esports, number 84. Now passing the RSR, the DNF'd RSR hypercar overall position. That's everyone now doing it. As oh yeah, look how dark the back straight is. I didn't even know it was gonna become night in this race.
That's a fact.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be like WEC where it just stays where they do it through the day. No, we've got a full-on night race on our hands. And obviously, we're gonna have a full-on night race when we go to Daytona in I think like 2 weeks' time. We'll have Daytona the final round for this series, if I can remember correctly. I'll go check the Lemons calendar. Yeah, Daytona will be the 23rd of this month, the final round in this championship, and that's 2 weeks' time. And then when's I think the Sprint Series Macau is on the 23rd. No, not 23rd. I'm stupid. The 20. When is Macau for the Sprint Series then? Obviously, we still have Sprint Series running. Its final round is coming up soon. It's on the 17th, so yeah. So Formula Trout, I guess after Got a bit of hibernation. We're back out in full force, out of the cocoon. We have next week the first test race for the Premier Series, which finally back after a good few months of preparation and waiting. Then literally the next week, one day later, on the Sunday, we have the Sprint Series, and then the next week, back on the Saturday, I mean, we have Daytona for Lemons. And two of those are season finales.
Does it look like Felipe Olsen's headlights aren't on?
Ooh, are we gonna have a bit of a Cadillac, Red Atlanta type situation here? Oh, they're not
race
on.
director? Can you confirm?
Hello.
Hi, this is Alex Cochran, our race director.
He heard it.
Yes, so actually, it does appear that Felipe Olsen actually does now have his headlights on.
Oh, it's literally a Cadillac at Road Atlanta.
Will he be
I did
penalised?
just speak to him. No. I believe he may have not had a button bound. I just spoke to him directly through the channels, and I told him that you can bind a button through one of the apps in Assetto Corsa, and he may have just done that because he now has headlights.
It's a rule for everyone else except for him, yeah? That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Special privileges for Felipe Olsen, who's racing his own race.
There's actually nothing in the rules that say you must use your headlights at all, which is it's a bit of a hole, so that's something to note for the future.
Yeah, especially going to Daytona, that whole middle sector. Yeah, that was Alex Cochran, race director for Monza here. And yeah, with 22 minutes to go, Felipe Olsen finally has his lights back on. Thankfully, he's not going to run into the same issues Cadillac did at the 12 hours of Road Atlanta earlier this year at IMSA.
What happened to them?
Cadillac was leading the race for the final few laps. They're having issues with their headlights all day, and within like the last 5 laps, their headlights just completely shut off. They were already running they already ran like an hour with a single one on, and they said it was fine. And then with the last 10 minutes or something, the other one finally went off. And then, but it literally half a lap later, it came back on. And then both started flickering. They started flickering on and off. It was super intense. Because in IMSA at least, if you don't have your headlights on, that's you have to come in. You get a black and orange flag. Here we're watching Max Brick in the Vortex GT. Number 18, come through Parabolica. And there's 20 minutes roughly left to go in this race here at Monza. That's Felipe Olsen on a lap in the GT in his hypercar. Into this very dark turn 1. He's able to stick it and get past his GT, and Max Brick is able to hit his braking points and get through turn 1. So 20 minutes left on the clock in a few seconds. I think that's another hypercar getting past Max Brick. He kind of was sliding out towards the other track there. I'll see Max Brick and Christopher Bowes had an incident earlier in the race with him trying to get by Christopher Bowes specifically, and then almost happened again, I think, there, as Max Brick also just put a tire on the grass just a bit earlier there. But I think Max Brick himself is just trying to get to the end of this race, and what the position is, oh my god, yeah, it is pitch black dark, oh my god, through this middle sector. It is literally only the headlights illuminating.
Our game now.
I think through those last, this middle sector, you're gonna have to up the exposure in AC.
Oh god, what's happened there?
What's happened there? Maybe
Sounds like he's holding the clutch in.
Yellow flag at Ascari.
Yeah. Just all the revs just went away. Should sound like
Green flag, track is clear.
It'd be cool if he had engine issues and stuff like that with NAC with his having application. I think he might have pressed his brake instead of his his clutch instead of his brake. I mean,
It sound like that, yeah.
I think that's a very interesting mistake to make. And if he did press it, yeah, he fully pressed it in because it just seemed like all like just power dropped. You just heard the rev basically just go all the way down. Once again, Felipe Olsen passing the Griffin Gaming GT car. Still both leading for their classes. Oh, look how dirty that Stalin Almec car is when it's not under the lights. Really absolutely full of dirt, and they're showing you how hard they've been racing these past 2 hours as he sends it on a GT and gets past, and that's the number 60, the junior racing GT, also in an Audi GT3. Going to this main straight. Oh my god, the screenshots are gonna be great for this race. if anyone does take screenshots. That is the junior racing number 60 pitting. 17:30 to go in this race, minutes. And he hits, and I think he won't get overtaken by Max Brick, but he'll close the gap slightly. As I would say, we're watching the number 88 of Carter Jackson in third. But it is, even with headlights, it is very hard to see the cars within these TV angles.
The flashing thing on the side of Carter Jackson's.
Oh,
The
I guess
NB.
look at...
There's
Oh, that's
03
the number plate.
It said NB before, then -8. Like NP, yeah, -8, sorry.
NB minus... Oh, I think that might be like... Yeah, because third place right there. I think that MB minus H, I think that might be like... Oh, because RSS call their line of hypercars, I think they call them the MBH or something like that. It's like the MPH or something. So I think it might be showing the class name.
NP -8.
Yeah, because the H would stand for hypercar or whatever, and then the number, the position it's in. Yep, that position is third, 26 behind second. Car he was battling with around like 40 minutes ago, the Stone Almanac has... Well, that's fully across the white line there. Is that allowed?
Yeah.
I know they've done it in real life too sometimes, but... Yeah, it's just absolutely... After the back straight of the main straight, all you can see are the headlights and the ambulance lights from the ambulances on the side of the track. Yeah, look, it's just completely pitch black sides of the headlights. Well, yeah, you can see the glow from the brakes. Go through the corner, obviously. And we go through the Lesmos. With 15 minutes to go, this race is soon to be over. And then we'll be heading to Daytona for, I think it's the currently provisionally it's the 3 hours of Daytona on the 28th, but before that, obviously, we have the first test race for Premier Series and the final for Sprint Series, round 10 at Macau. The championship battle going to be decided there in Drivers' Championship. But as right now we're focused on how this race will finish. As Felipe Olsen again is going to lap another GT car. He's been doing that all race. Pretty cleanly, very reliably, I'll say. As I think he was just trying to move to the side of the track to try to illuminate, try to see who's in front of him. That's another hypercar with think was actually leaving the pits. I think that might be Carter Jackson. Actually, it was a RSR car, and the other one, Brandon, sadly has officially retired from this race. Yeah, it does seem that is Carter Jackson. I guess it's been dominant all day, but I guess the biggest challenge, I think he has lapped the hypercar already, actually. I was going to say, can he lap a hypercar, but I guess this would... Yeah, let's see if he can lap like 1/4 of the grid. Like 2/4 of the grid or something like that. He is 2 tenths up on this delta, so he's still have pushing. Oh my god. Just absolutely sent it over that curve through Ascari.
Amount of confidence he has in his car, able to just push every lap.
And he's already caught up to Carter Jackson, who was a bit snappy out of the exit. Parabolica is now on the complete inside of the track. I think he's going to try to defend a bit, but not totally hold him off. He does catch up from Felipe Olsen. Felipe Olsen much more calm in the brakes. Carter Jackson turns in. I think he might have clipped the nose of Felipe Olsen a bit there. It's very hard to tell with how dark it is, though. As you see them running down into the Curva Grande, into the Del Rocha chicane. Back on board Felipe Olsen, into the Del Rocha chicane fully. As, ooh, goes a bit over the curb there.
Car number 88, blue flags for car number 8.
Just as she goes to show you, has been leading this race and has a pretty comfortable gap. Does not mean he's not pushing this car to its absolute limit. Over the curb and see if we can get a decent exit. Ooh, again, snappy. Bit snappy for Carter Jackson. I don't think he's able to defend from this. He goes side by side into the scar and he just sticks behind Felipe Olsen, and that's Felipe Olsen lapping another hypercar. Ooh, that's very cool to see all those headlights together. That GT is going to have to stay on the racing line yet as they go past. Do you think Carter Jackson's actually going to go try to unlap himself? He sticks to no, he doesn't. He can't get alongside. I was gonna say he's probably gonna go on the outside. Oh no!
Carter, please.
No, Carter Jackson has hit the race leader. Let that GT go past again. Carter Jackson, I think, is in the gravel. No, he's actually not. I think he might have just went wide. But that allows. That's hurt him more than it's hurt Felipe Olsen. 11 minutes ago, and that's allowed Christopher Bose to catch up to Carter Jackson. Gap's 2.5 seconds, and if I can compare, obviously, previous lap times, you can see that Carter probably would have got like a 135 also, but 135.5 from the Christopher Bose from that Griffin Gaming red car, 21. He is not going pretty slow. He's not going slow. Let me like actually properly form that sentence. But now he's only 1.5 behind. He's gained even more. The fight for third is fully on now. The fight for the podium is on once again between these two.
Carter Jackson's been locking up his tyres quite often in the last couple of laps as well, so...
Yeah, and so that's not going to help the life of those tires. Tire management, a key part of the endurance racing formula.
I wonder what was going through Carter Jackson's mind.
I guess obviously I guess kind of just off my head, an Esteban Ocon moment. You think you can overtake him, and then he just, I guess it just doesn't pan out. He's trying to lap himself, maybe have a bit of racing fun. He has been on his own for a bit, but he's kind of just, well, Felipe Olsen is, again, a full lap, I think, a good while ahead of Carter Jackson, as that's the number 84, the Crito racing car, the Audi of Jacob Zambrowski.
If I spun out in this like light or lack of light, I wouldn't know which way to go.
Yeah. Well, here's Christopher Bose. We're back on with him. Number 21, still chasing the number 188. Carter Jackson in that Rising Sun racing car. A second is the gap between these two, fighting for second place now. It's fully on between these two. Christopher Bowes goes over that curb a lot. Maybe he ruined his exit at there. Yeah, lost a bit of time through that section, but he's definitely not slow. And I think this Protec, might just have the slightest edge on the straight, so he definitely can catch up if he puts it all together. But with 8 minutes and 30 seconds to go, that clock is ticking for Christopher Bowes to catch up and get the move done for second place.
We slow it in the first and second sectors, so he really needs to string together this last part now if he wants a chance.
Yeah, and you saw there going through his car, you saw that he actually didn't take the curbing like Felipe Olsen did. It just shows you how confident Felipe Olsen is, that car just throwing it over the curbing. As the second, 1.2 seconds behind Carter Jackson now. Carter Jackson has been locking up his tires, like you said, so maybe he can break a bit later, gain some time through turn 1. So he breaks roughly around like the 110 mark, 130 mark. Yeah, he has definitely gained some time. Using all that curbing, that slight strip of green runoff to get good traction out. Gap is still 1.2 though. So lost a bit of the exit. And that's the leader of the GTs just up ahead.
300, sorry.
Carter Jackson getting past. And now it's going to be Mr. Bowes getting past. Not a good corner, he might lose some time. Very iffy corner to try to get past. But no, I think this might just hold up Christopher Bowes even more. This GT is going to have to pass it through his car, basically.
The lap traffic.
The braking zone.
Timed perfectly for Carter Jackson.
Yep. That's helped him out immensely. Ooh, Christopher Bowes gets a bit unstable there, icing his car. Yeah, traffic timed perfectly for Carter Jackson to keep this second place. As we're nearing ever closer to the end of this race. Felipe Olsen, 70 laps in. It's not put a foot wrong. He's led all the 70 of those laps. So I say Carter Jackson and Felipe Olsen has led all 70 of those laps. And it's not put a foot wrong. He's been pretty dominant. 71 laps now as he crossed the line. We'll see how this race ends. Yeah, Christopher Bowes around 1.4 now. Yeah, he gains time through turn 1 specifically into the braking. So I'm assuming his tires may be a slight bit better off than Carter Jackson's. Maybe they're on the same life, but Carter Jackson, you know, all those lockups. Trust me, through force feedback, if he does have a decent wheel, you definitely can feel it.
Much faster in the first sector than Carter Jackson. At least by a couple of tenths.
1.8 though, currently coming out of second. Never mind, it's 1.67. Back to 8. Okay, never mind. Through the second sector. I think he might still just be losing a little time overall though. Got the lap for Jackson. He takes the curving that time.
Carter has a bit more confidence on the curbs.
Yeah, I think Christopher Bowes may just see the time and they just want to play it safe and just finish this race where he is. But obviously, I don't think most racing drivers, I think 99% of the time usually they don't play it safe. They try to go for those moves.
There's nothing to
try
lose.
To push and catch up.
Yeah,
there's nothing to lose. He is the last place driver. He's still fourth, but within the remaining hypercars, he's fourth. So there's nothing to lose. He does just try and push and get past Carter Jackson.
Up traffic
He
will
he
help.
just breaks much later. I don't think he's gonna get as good of an exit though. Out of the corner. As that GT gets out the way, that's the number 84 Audi of Pluto Racing Team. Now Christopher Bowes gets passed into the Della Rocha chicane.
Ryan Wilson pitting like with 4 minutes to go. Interesting.
Maybe just wants to put on the 70 tires.
Maybe.
Just have a comfortable run to the end. Maybe he's just missing those extra few liters to finish the race. Yeah, with 4 minutes left to go, he pits, and I don't think he's gonna get passed by the 84. But he's definitely not gonna pass. He's not gonna get passed by the 84s. Yeah, he's now. But yeah, I think that's him. Just maybe putting a new set of tires on just to have a comfortable end of this race. Obviously, it's a bit. I feel it'd be much nicer to end on a pair of tires than like 30 lap old tires or like 50 lap old tires.
Got 2 more laps. He's gaining about 3/10.
And yeah, it's almost down back under a second after Christopher Bowes. I think once if he can pull into that slipstream, that's when the attempt really starts to become a reality for Christopher Bowes. 3 minutes left as he crosses the line. Like you said, he had roughly 2 laps left now. So the average lap time is 1:34.
Carter's tires are going.
Yeah, I think yeah. It's almost a second now, the gap. It flashed under a second for a bit there. And yeah, you can see how tight of a line Christopher Bowes is taking, almost hitting the grass. He is trying to gain all the time to catch up to Carter Jackson, even the tightest lines through the straights. Trying the line of least resistance. And yeah, now he's under a second. Coming through Lesmo 1 now. Lesmo 2 is a little bit later, obviously, counting in order. Lesmo 2 now. Let's see if we can get a bit of time on the exit. He does very much slightly. Actually, no, he does lose a tiny bit.
Carter's got a better exit there. Still.
Yeah, he's going to be confident through here, though. The Ascari chicane. He's going to try to be confident here. There you go. Fully jumping over those curves. And yeah, there you go. He's immediately much closer now. He's kept the time that he was losing on his previous laps to stick with Carter Jackson. There's nothing really to lose, so I think it's just a time experimentation where he can gain that time. But then now, as he crosses the line, is the final lap for them, as Felipe Olsen is still ahead. I think this will be the final or second to last lap for them.
I don't know. I think they got another lap in them. Oh, there's
There's
so
a plus
much close.
1 when the line crosses. Oh my god, look at that late braking comparison as he hits him. As he hits him. Yeah, Christopher Bowes tapping the rear end of Carter Jackson. I think he wasn't expecting to get that close to him under braking, honestly. And it was just him being a bit shocked and just staying behind. Yeah, I think Carter Jackson's tires are fully starting to fall off now. Christopher Bowes goes a bit wide. He's lost all that time. He's lost all the time he's gained. 50 seconds on the clock roughly when he did
Still
that.
back in it though. He's not too
But
far.
he's not that far off. He hasn't even lost that much time. I think that's how bad Carter Jackson's tires have fallen off. That even with that pretty major mistake
Wow.
in the sim racing world, he is still super close. And I don't think he's going to think about a move into Ascari, but he's going to think about getting a good exit from Ascari and going for it in the Parabolica.
Oh,
As
wow.
all Carter Jackson doesn't. He's holding
there's
him up
traffic.
even. That's not even him. This traffic, the GT, yeah, right. But it's not even him holding him up, trying to kick. It's him just being super slow while holding him up unintentionally. As Christopher Bowes, I think he's going to think for a move. Carter Jackson does turn in, though. He thinks better of it. He plays it safe.
Here we go.
Felipe Olsen crosses the line.
Oh,
And he's now on the final lap. It's a drag race. It's not the final lap. Is it the final lap?
No,
It's not the final lap.
I got excited.
No, Felipe Olsen just crossed the line just before the checkered flag wave. So this is their last lap as they go side by side to turn 1.
Can't even
That
tell
is
what's
the
happening.
Griffin red car. That's Jackson jumping over the curb. It is so dark as it's the GT going through the escape road. That's Carter Jackson losing third place to the Griffin car of Christopher Bowes. And I think we should go on board with the man who has led this race sooner than later to catch that win. And it is so dark, you can barely even see the guy who's been. Oh, he's all flashing me. Little teaser. But this guy, yeah, look how much curve he takes. Jeez, goes fully right over it.
Look at
Yeah,
the gap that
well,
Christoph Bose has made now. Look, like nearly,
yeah,
yeah.
1.2 immediately off the bat once he passes him. But as this GT car, I think is just gonna try to get out the way.
Oh yeah.
This guy has dominated the whole race.
Christoph Bose, no!
Yes.
Oh no, that's Carter Jackson, sorry. Carter Jackson.
Yeah, this guy's led the whole race. He's never put a foot wrong on every single lap, and even quali. Felipe also for the number 8 Griffin gaming car, wins at the 200 kilometers of Monza in the hypercar class and overall. Roberto Rodaccia is not that far behind, but obviously he's lapped Christopher Bose and Carter Jackson as well. Christopher Bose comes third after finishing a lap behind, and so does Carter Jackson finishing a lap behind fourth. And I think the guy who's honestly been the most consistent alongside Felipe Olsen, maybe just have the pace to compete with him, but as shown he's kept it clean. It has not really been in any incidents this whole race. As that's Max Brick in the number 18 Vortex GT car getting out the way for him. He will finish off the finishers for the hypercar class. The chicken car, we've seen in many of the Formula Trout series, but we've seen here in Lemons getting a P2 finish once he crosses that line here at their home race. And I bet they're happy with that result.
What an ending.
Obviously, the Gaming Griffin GT car gets the win. And so it's a win for Griffin Gaming in both the GT and Hypercar categories. The 84 Prito Racing team with Jacob Simbrowski gets P2. The junior racing team, the number 60. Now they had an incident early in the race at the start within the first 5 minutes, but they're able to climb up to P3 in class, 7th overall. And 18, I think he's left the server, but I think he did finish the race. The 18 of Max Brick in the Vortex Racing GT finishes out the GT class in 8th overall, and sadly, the 56 Rising Sun Racing Hypercar DNF'd earlier this race. And he's 9th overall, but obviously did not finish, so he will not score points. Or will he score points, since he is technically in the thing? He just didn't finish. But yeah, that is the end to this Monza race here in Formula Trout Lemon Series. And yeah, what a race at the end. It did kind of calm down between the last hour, but that last hour, by the end of it, did really spice up, especially between Christopher Bose and Carter Jackson.
And why don't
Christopher
we
Bose
get the
who,
race winner
that was
in
fun.
here? Felipe once again.
Olse. Another race win in Lemons and at Monza. How are you feeling?
Pretty tired, to be honest. But yeah, it was a very enjoyable race, I have to say. It was the whole race. I was thinking of that quote from Walter Röll when he was describing his Lancia after a rally that he dominated. The car just felt like a shoe. He just did exactly what he wanted to do, and that's how it felt today. Like, I don't like Monza, but it was incredible. The car was just perfect.
You were
Good to
pushing it
hear.
every lap.
Yeah, you were. Yeah, no one was going on the curves like you were. Like, we were watching laps. You were fully going up that curve, especially in the Scari. Fully hopping over it.
Yeah, I was experimenting in practice to see how much I could use it, and actually it was possible to take it a lot more aggressively, but I didn't want to abuse the track limits, so I toned it down just to the limit of what was allowed.
Yeah, well, obviously, yeah. A race win. I bet you're happy with that. And then, obviously, yeah, Daytona. 3 hours of Daytona provisionally. It may change, but are you excited for that?
Yeah, I'm very excited for that. I quite like Daytona. It's gonna be a very difficult race because it's a lot of turning left, and yeah, that gets pretty tiring after like half an hour. So it will be a difficult race, but I look forward to it. Yeah, and obviously, um, I already did some practice, but yeah, the with the how the car is feeling, every track feels great, even the ones I don't like. So
What were your thoughts on your little contact with Carter Jackson?
Oh yeah, that's what Lily was bring me up.
yeah, that was interesting. I don't know what happened there, but yeah,
Yeah,
I'm glad I was so far in front that it didn't really affect anything, but yeah, it was something.
I mean, ultimately it cost him the podium.
I didn't know that. Well, yeah, I guess
Yeah.
I don't know what to say. Karma, I guess. I don't want to sound mean, but like it was such a stupid mistake from him. Or I guess it was a mistake. I don't know. Yeah, I'm just every every time in these races, I was I find I was very much being too cautious in turn one in the previous races because I was always worried about this exact thing happening in this race. I was like, yeah, no, I'm gonna trust the good drivers around me that they know where to brake and they won't run into the back of me. And the only time there was a chance for someone to drive into the back of me, it happened. So that's good to know.
Well, I mean, you practically dominated once more, qualifying and the race. I mean, we should just name this series after you, really.
I mean, I guess the others aren't doing quite as much practice. I had a lot of time, like a month back, and did a lot of laps and really refined the setup, and that's paying off, I guess, right now because today it was very surprising. Even I was surprised about my pace today. I was faster than in practice, which never happens. Usually I'm a couple of tenths slower in the actual race than I was in practice, and today I was just the car just felt unreal. I don't know how or why, but yeah. Just,
Felipe, it's always a pleasure watching you, and let's see, let's hope this performance seeps over into the next race and also series when the Premier Series comes round.
yeah, thank you. I'm looking forward to the Premier Series, and I certainly hope to see some of this space transferring over to that. So yeah,
Awesome.
thank you for streaming again and putting this together. And yeah, see you guys in Daytona.
Thank you very much, Felipe, our race winner. And I think let's call it a night there. To be honest, let's end on a high. Thank you very much for joining me tonight, Angel. You saved me as I don't know why I felt so ill halfway through the race. But yeah, did some great commentary, and yeah, it's always very enjoyable listening to you talk about your turntable. But yeah, awesome. I've been Kilgy T, and you've been watching the Lemon Series hosted by Formula Trout. Have a good night, everyone, and we'll see you in 2 weeks' time. Is it? When's the next race? Sorry.
So next race for Le Mans is in 3 weeks' time at Daytona, same time. But obviously we have Premiere next week, and we have the Sprint right after, and 2 finals for a championship within like 3 weeks, plus the first real test race for Premiere. So Trout's active once again.
Yay, we're back with a vengeance. Have a good night, everyone, and we'll see you soon.